Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears.
Yo, no maniacs. Welcome into a special edition of Some Extra Sauce, where we are going to do a complete U-turn and focus solely on Bears. A special show right next to a special weekend we're about to have with all you guys. Get ready for the marathon because it's coming starting tomorrow night at I don't know exactly what time. I haven't posted the show yet, but we'll do so as soon as possible. And man, get ready for it's going to be a long weekend, but a fun one. You know, if you hang out over here, man, it's always a good time, man. The boys are going to be popping through. Guests going to be coming, and some of the fam, man. It's going to be a bunch of people around, people here and there, but good time planned for this weekend. But tonight, we definitely try to drill in and talk about my plan is to talk about some of these guys in the after-draft market, seeing that we have so many unfilled roster spots. Apparently, the plan is for Chicago to invest in some of this after draft talent, which I think is pretty rich. So what I did in my scouting was try to get kind of focused on some of that talent. And it'll be 2 or 3 players in that bunch that are definitely going to get drafted, at least 2 of them at least. But then a bunch of these other guys are going to be after draft talent, and it's going to be rich, man. I'm just telling you, there's at least 20 or 30 guys that I ain't going to be able to get to in that market that I really want to talk about tonight, but you're going to enjoy the breakdowns, man. It's going to be some nice little talent in there y'all going to like. Let's get the show started, man. Chop it up and get it started. I'm kicking on over to Mr. Triple R. I see Canuck just popped in here. Know what his deal is down there, but let's get it cracking, Trips. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, what up? It's finally here, draft eve, if you will. It's been several months of talking about these prospects, looking at RAS scores and grinding film and all that fun stuff. And tomorrow it all starts to come to fruition. And as Nomad alluded to, the UDFA, so the amount of players that will be added over the course of this weekend that maybe even we don't even expect. It's like, wait, who? Never heard of them. So look forward to even having more film to look at and tape and discover new players that will be a part of this team in about 5 days. So let's talk about it tonight. We get to, all the football stuff. So let's kick it.
So what's been happening in life, man? What's going on, man? Everything good and right in the world with you?
Yeah, it's all good. It's Monday. It's in the last 3 days. It's just keeping busy. Getting the stuff in. You see, I got on my spectacles around the neck. You got safety first. You gotta put a helmet on that soldier before you send them into battle, kids. And in this case, the soldier are the eyes, and the helmet are the glasses. So yeah, everything's everything.
Where I'm from, we ride bareback, man.
Watch out now.
Hey, what's going on, y'all, man?
Riding bareback without the bare facts.
Hey, man, that's how them bears do it, bro.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
See, kids was without his shades. I had to go fetch the shades, man. Future's so bright. Anyways, man, it is draft night eve. Welcome, one and all. We're gonna do the darn thing for a couple of days here, give you guys as much content as humanly possible until my eyes bleed. Hence the shades. That being said, I can't wait to see what these guys do. I can't wait because, again, all the speculation will be finished. and then we can really start to strategize, because that's really what happens next, right? You get you get the players in the door, and you start to figure out how you're going to utilize them best. How are you going to develop them into what you need moving forward? And like I say, I can't wait to really see what these guys have up their sleeve, because man, like, bro,
what do you got up your sleeve?
There's some. I wish you didn't go there, man.
Well, you brought it up.
even flus. But look, there's some talent in this draft, man. That that is kind of surprising to me, right? Like, you generally think, there's really good talent. I tend to spend my time, as far as the offseason is concerned, really looking at that top 150 players, paying a little bit of time looking at them with respect to positional value with regards to our team. That's generally what I do. I get some good understanding and good ideas as to who's who and what's what. This time around, you have done something like, and it ain't different for you. It's just, it landed different with me. Usually you get deep and you look at these guys, and I'm like, bro, you're looking at UDFAs in seventh rounders, and I'm like, what am I going to do with that? Well, you know what? Some of these cats look wicked good this time around. I don't know about the previous years. I don't know. I can't speak for every single time. But this time around, some of these not necessarily highly touted talents look like talents. Like, I really have to say this. And to that degree, I'm just hoping that the trust and belief that I actually have in this particular version of the Bears brass is able to dig deep and find some of that talent out there. Because, like, at DT, there's a few. At DE, there's a few. In the secondary, there's a few. There's some real talent out there to scoop up and do some really cool things with, man. So I'm ready, bro.
Hey, I appreciate it. And I'm however that happened for you, however it landed on you to really give some credence to some of these guys that ain't getting a whole lot of conversation out there. I'm glad it landed on you. No matter when it lands on you, so long as it lands on you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it might be given the fact that Triple R keeps repeating how many roster spots we have open, and maybe I was just talking to him before the show. Maybe that's for a reason. They see this particular after draft class as pretty rich, and they think they can get some players that can stick after the draft, and so they intentionally left a lot of spots open to do that. And that's why that was my mindset going into the night, and focusing on some of these guys that I think are going to be valuable after the draft. And I think once you set eyes on some of them, I think you'll see what I mean by it's a pretty rich UDFA class, in my opinion. And it is so many guys. I get upset every year when I start thinking about how many guys are actually drafted and how many guys can actually be on somebody's roster. That's ridiculous to me. Doesn't make any sense to have 53 players. As physical and violent as this game is, 53 players, really? I don't know how adding another 10 players or so is going to give somebody some distinct advantage, but that's ridiculous to me. And so, I mean, I just don't like the idea that if somebody's not drafted, people look at that person as lesser than. No, it's just only so many guys can get drafted, and every team has their own specific list of needs that they want to fill. And once they do that, there's a lot of good players that just fall to the wayside. That's all it is.
There's also, like, the things that people don't really understand, and it has to do with just life. Some of these, Fred, I throw you a dinghy, man, but we ain't in the water. In any event, like, you have to look at life And some of these guys passed to the NFL are completely different than others. Some guys were highly touted from high school. Some of these guys started their NFL journey a bit later and have had to shook and dive through JUCO and get to the NFL in a different capacity. Less eyes on you, less scouting on you means less, lower your draft stock. It's complete and utter BS at the end of the day. So that's why I'm sort of saying that when you look at when you actually look at the tape, and look at these talents, it may jump out at you and you might recognize, holy smokes, like this guy might be a wonder. And, ain't nobody talking about him. Nobody's really zeroed in on this particular player because of that path and how he made it to where he is today. So, take all that into consideration. Again, everybody's life story and path ain't the same. And, that definitely affects your draft stock.
I'll give you a name. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are high on, especially on this channel, people that follow what we do, they love Malachi Lawrence from Central Florida, UCF. But there's another guy on the other side of him, the bookend, Nigel Lee Kelly. I was almost done finishing his player card before the show, but I just ran out of time. He might be even more of a fit for the Bears than Malachi Lawrence. He's 6'5", 250 something pounds. Man, long and really, really athletic and quick. And guys, I don't know if I've heard anybody discussing him. Everybody's on the Malachi Lawrence train so tough. This guy might be a little bit better fit, but I do think Malachi Lawrence can be a fit. It's just the other guy on the other side of him is almost as talented as him, if not just as. But that's another play. I mean, there's just so many guys, kids. There's a couple HBCU guys I think you're going to love, man. Nobody's talking about them.
You know what I mean? I haven't gone down that road at all. And if you found some, it'd be great to see and discuss because, again, and that's that path that I'm talking about. Your life story sent you to an HBCU and the competition is different. That does not necessarily have anything to do with your actual talent on the field, right? So you really have to look at all of these different angles to really get a full perspective of what you're looking at. And it's tough. It's tough for us. It's tough for you guys as fans. It's even worse in all reality for an NFL scouting team, right? Like those guys have to go through all this stuff with a fine-tooth comb, and it's tough, man. So, like I say, I kind of have I have a lot more faith. I'll put it that way. A lot more faith in this version of the Bears brass. So I think they're going to be able to pull out some really interesting talent, and I think we're going to scratch our heads a couple of times in this draft and be like, "What the hell just happened?" But I think it's all going to pan out.
A lot of the talk right about now is, and welcome in Levante, everybody. I'm gonna get to. I started this comment. He says the House approved 78-32 the mega projects bill for the stadium, so it's pretty much halfway done. Once it gets to the Senate, if they rubber stamped it like this in the House, it's a done deal in the Senate. And it might be a little bit of resistance to, get them to kind of tailor the bill a little bit to fit the state better so that the state can come out a little bit better. Might be some little backroom meetings to make sure that comes off right. That's just politics. But if that's the case, like Levante said, it's pretty much going to be a dome stadium built in Arlington Heights. I love it.
It's going to have to be a time thing because according to the NFL and the Bears, they want something done sooner than later, whether it be Arlington Heights or Hammond. And it passed the Illinois House, but it still has to pass the Senate. Then the governor still has to sign it. But all that stuff takes time. And, Illinois is on their own schedule, whereas the Indiana deal is on the table now and ready to be acted upon. So where Illinois may be moving, there's no guarantee that their movement is too late.
Nah, I think once that's a to me, it's a sign when it comes off like 78-32. They number one, the state always needs the resources. They need the revenue. The second thing is how do we get the language in that bill to be agreeable to the citizens of Illinois? And that's what's going to happen in the Senate. They're going to probably trim it a little bit, probably put some stuff, add some stuff to it, all that kind of stuff that happens.
Well, that's the thing, though. Looking at it, it's a mega projects bill in general. It's not just a Bears thing. So any corporation that wants to do a mega thing in Illinois now has the framework through this deal. But the Bears specifically would need some tweaking for it. And that's where the issues are going to come in, because included within just the mega projects bill in general are tax hikes for property owners, for hotel and bar customers. So all of the property taxes, business taxes are being hiked, and residents ain't gonna be liking that. So when the news of what's in the bill comes out, the senators are gonna feel pressure from their constituency to be like, no, we don't like this shit. And then there's gonna be some, politicking, and that shit takes time.
It is, people in Arlington Heights can shut the F up, in my opinion.
No, it's not Arlington Heights. This is beyond them now. Arlington Heights is out. Arlington Heights is like, the afterthought. This is the state of Illinois now.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody's tax is going to be affected. That's how that's a shared thing. If there's a mega project in, another part of Illinois, same taxes for everybody, right?
All I'm saying is, it's like this for me. This is the way I see it through my lenses. Anytime there's an opportunity for, even though you're going to get a little bit more in your tax, you're going to have to pay a little bit more out. Anytime there's an opportunity to give people opportunity, you know what I mean, to widen the space for people to go and get income, I'm good with that. I don't mind paying a little bit more, just so I know that it's going to be people around us that's going to benefit from this thing being here. But that's number one. Number two, it's an X factor of in the equation here of the things that are going to be attracted to Chicago by this stadium being there, and the things that are going to be built around it. Opportunities are going to be kind of limitless as this thing starts to grow and pick up steam a little bit. And so it's a multiplier is what it is for the state, even though people paying a little bit more in taxes, and people gonna whenever there's a fire put out somewhere, some miserable mother effer is gonna go start a fire somewhere else and be complaining and crying about everything.
It's gonna have to. It depends on the framing of it, because right now the citizenship and people are basically, why are we giving tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires? And what you are laying out is basically trickle down type economics. It's like, well, that's going to draw more businesses, which is going to, create more taxes and more jobs and more revenue, all of which is true, but it's still trickle down economics, giving tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires who are funding these mega projects and investing in them. So, I mean, it's just going to be the framing of how it's presented, because on the surface, I ain't paying no more, just so maybe one day the state can abuse these tax dollars that they raising from these other people.
Well, I mean, until we can go sack all the billionaires, until we can go sack them and take them and make them do what they need to do with all that money they're hoarding, that's the way it's going to be until then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just, you get what you can get. You get it how you can get it.
So let me spin it a little bit different. Like, is it really trickle down economics? And why I say this is because
it really
is. I don't know. Like, just give me a second and then tell me. But I assume these, the tax dollars are going to go towards the infrastructure in and around Arlington Park. Like, there has to be roads and highways, etc., built in to make this new.
Somebody got to build it.
This is what I'm saying. Like, somebody has to build all that. So now you need construction companies, construction workers. All those people have to be put in place and paid by the state in some capacity to have this done. That's my thoughts there. Those are all jobs, right? This is all business. And maybe you can look at it as trickle down, but again, I don't know. Like, I think that's good. I think that's good state business, man.
Hey, kids, I'll tell you where it can get stuffy. And just because I've been in the business of seeing what it takes to procure contracts, right? Procure money what I want to see happen more is smaller companies, maybe minority owned, get more of them involved in getting some of those contracts where it gets stuffy. And I mean real gangster is in Chicago when it comes to getting that money and getting those contracts like that. It's going to be huge mega contracts, and the muscle tends to end up with all the big contracts, and then the little man is sitting on the sidelines like, hold on, man, how can I get in this? And that's where Chicago politics becomes a little bit crazy and dangerous, because you're not letting enough people. You need to let some small minority-owned companies get some of that money.
So
you're mad about that.
I hear what you're saying. That's a tough one because I'm pretty familiar with a lot of this stuff, right? Fair enough, Levante. Thank you, man. I'm familiar with RFP and RFQs and RFIs. I handle a lot of that, and hell, wouldn't mind doing some business with some of these guys who are going to put down some of that construction. So, hell, you know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy. Anyways, those proposals are open to anybody. Anybody can respond to an RFP and potentially get selected. The problem is that every RFP, and this is from experience, every RFP is actually sort of written with somebody in mind, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, homie, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have this, that, and the third in place. I'm gonna write this RFP to, specifically.
Well, the name for that, kids, is cronyism.
Well, I can write through the bullshit for you all. Let me be honest with you, man. All of that it sounds good on paper. Everybody gets a shot at it. No, they don't. And on paper, they do. Let me tell you who gets those opportunities. People connected to fraternities, people connected to sororities and little rinky-dink ass secret societies, whatever they are. Those are the people that get the contracts. People that are connected somehow in some way.
So you can frame it that way, and I'm inclined to agree. I'll just boil it down to money. You know what I mean? Like, they will put in place compliance requirements that a smaller organization just flat out won't be able to meet. It's literally that. And so, like, if you've got a couple more, so like what I do is telematics, I do fleet tracking, I make sure that your your construction vehicles are, that green energy is that things are green. You're not pumping out all sorts of idling and things along those lines. I'm trying to make sure that, again, these organizations meet the compliance requirements for many RFPs. So in order to do that, you got to buy my stuff, and my stuff costs money, right? So if you're a smaller guy and you can't invest in the things that I'm putting in front of you, and the next guy can, he's going to win the RFP, right? So that's it. It's literally that simple. I've also had the flip side. So I've had RFP writers come to me and be like, hey, man, we want to do business with you, and we want to make sure that whoever we select goes through you. So what's special about what you do that we can write into this RFP to ensure that these guys come and do business with you, so we do business with them, and everybody's making money?
Maybe you should describe what an RFP means.
It stands for request for proposal. An RFI is request for information.
So it's like a grant.
Sort of. So I'll get a bit deeper. So what happens is in a situation like this, the state likely will put out an RFP and say, hey, y'all, to all the construction companies out there, we have this list of requirements that you need to meet in order to win this bid. Bid on the RFP, and we'll review what your bid is. And if you meet all of the sections from a requirements perspective, whoever comes closest, as well as has the best dollars and cents, right? You're coming in with the best price as well. You're the guy that we're going to select. Meet all of our compliance requirements and come with the best price. You win.
Oh, bidding process.
That's what it is, and that's what it would be across the board. So once more, given what you were saying, Nomad, that smaller minority guy who's on the come up might not meet all of those compliance requirements. To make matters worse, given what Trip is saying, cronyism, there's likely a guy behind the scenes that went like, hey, homeboy, make sure you got all this stuff in place because we gonna write it for you.
That might be a guy or might be a girl.
Oh, I don't mean. I don't mean.
I know what you mean. I'm
saying I'm not trying to be sexist here. I'm just saying,
And I've seen how this shit works out, man, and it's really shitty to me how these things play out, and it's just the power dynamics are so corrupt that it makes me sick to my stomach. I wish I hadn't got that close to it to see how it actually plays out, because I was living a pretty good. I still live a great life, but knowing some of the things that I know now, it's really troublesome to me, man, because, it's hard to go tell a younger black man or woman or person of color, man, you can go do anything you want in this world. And all you got to do is just work and put in the work. And the truth is, no, you can't. It's not what you know, man.
Oh, man, don't say that.
It's who you know. It's who you know. It ain't what you know.
Well, you can know anybody, and I'll say the exact opposite of what you just said. Yes, you can, man. You know what I mean? The world is rigged. Don't get me wrong, but you can get it done. And what I mean by you can get it done is you need to understand. You need to understand the framework that I just kind of laid down. You need to understand how the world is rigged and work around that. Use that as your framework. So,
kid, what you're trying to say is you got to blow right on past all the connected trees and branches and everything that's going on around you that are in sync with each other, because that's what it's designed to be that way. If you don't want to be connected to that bullshit structure, you're going to have to blaze your own path, and that's going to be very difficult. I'm doing it now.
You kind of nailed it. You kind of nailed it. You kind of nailed it.
My whole life, kids. I know this shit intimately.
Yeah, you kind of nailed it. Like
I don't do any of that shit, and I do my own shit.
End of the day, what you really need to do is be your own boss. That's really what you need to do. You need to grow your own tree. You know what I'm saying? Just giving your analogy, you need to grow your own tree and understand that framework and that system. Working for somebody else, you will never get there, ever. That's where we all went wrong. All of us. You know what I mean? Like, straight up. Work for somebody else, unfortunately, you have no control over how the system manipulates you. Work for yourself, you do. And you can manipulate the system just like all these dudes and ladies.
I remember the last job I had in Atlanta. Last job I had in Atlanta. Some crazy shit went down. I'm doing Comcast University. So I've already learned Comcast and how to go about doing it, whether it's on the on the administration side of it, or whether it's out in the field, installing people's stuff and sales and all that stuff. I already know what to do. So they put me in charge of a group of college students, a bunch of interns or something. And some crazy shit went down. And nothing I did, but it was just those connected people saw me as an other and made move to get me out of the situation where I could have made a lot of money. And they did that. And I was so upset about it. I called one of my homeboys about it. I was just like, dog, I'm about to snap, man, because these motherfuckers playing with me. And he was just like, well, dog, if you ain't gonna be no snake, ain't no need in being out here working for people, man, because that's what they expect of you. And this is the whispers in the back of my mind all the times I've been played with and fucked over, trying to work a job. And I've always been the best at whatever the fuck I did, no matter what it is. I'm just that kind of dude. I'm gonna be better than everybody around me because I'm gonna work harder than everybody. That's just me. That's just me and my work ethic. And I always was. And every single time I got the short end of the stick and got played with, and I got fed up. And I got fed up. And that call, when I made that call, he's somebody I know is connected, in a certain kind of way. Let's just say that. He's just like, if you ain't gonna be no snake, man, they're gonna weed you out every time, man. You're gonna get right where they comfortable with you being, and then they're gonna move you around because you're not one of them. And so having that conversation with young people, I'm grown, I can handle that. I didn't end up hurting nobody, nobody hurt me, nothing happened. I just had to figure out other things and other ways and means to do what I need to do in the world and be confident in myself that I can make things happen. And so I said all that to in the lens of the conversation about the people that can procure contracts to get some of this work in the state of Illinois when this thing happens. And I just hope that whoever these people are, I just wish the best for them, but I would just love to see people not be played around with because they don't have certain connections to this, that, or the third. I'm sick of that shit, man. I'm sick of that.
Yeah, with reason, right? With reason, and I'm unfortunately, you kind of need to, like I say, you kind of need to master the system and work the system for yourself. And that's what you described. I run into the exact same thing in the corporate world as well. And there's nothing you can do about it unless you run your own and grow your own tree, man. It's the only way that you can avoid that, right? And that is the lesson to be learned and to be understood. But all the young folks out there, if you have the opportunity, the gumption, the need, the aptitude to build your own shit, build it and run with it and get it. And it's work. It's gonna be hard. But in the end, you control your destiny, and that is the difference, man. When somebody else, even in slight, is in control of your destiny, you already lost.
All right, I'll tell you what.
That's why the platform or Sports Chicago Style was built. Bringing in the crew forming like Voltron, to use an expression, with Coach Tripping, with Chef Trips and Trip. You know what I mean? So we come together, we do our thing, then we split up, and we all do our other own separate individual things. Then we come back together as a crew. But it's all that same under that umbrella because it's all in-house, everything we do. Yep. So make sure you are subscribed. Sports Chicago Style, also known as RRSCS, as well as, the other streaming platforms live right now and all draft weekend and every Sunday night on Nomad at night and Wednesday night, as you are here now, some extra sauce at Kids of Canuck, as well as the Nomad Network.
Appreciate that. Kids, I don't know if you got to tell. We talked about so goddamn much already. Did you get to say what you did this week, or you done? You good on that?
I didn't do it straight up. All I've done this week is a little bit of work, actually a lot of work. But told my boss, look, I'm out. I'm sorry, I'm out. It's draft week, and she was like, "What?" I was like, "It's draft week. I'm out. I can't be doing this stuff this week." She's like, "You know what? I'm down. You got the week off. Go." And so I was like, "Perfect," and I'm good to go. So
there it is.
You know what I mean? As long as I wave the white flag, she knew what was going on, and here I am, man. I'm ready to rock and roll and see what Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles have in store for us this coming season. That's been my week, man. I'm zeroed in, locked in, focused, and I can't wait to see it.
Okay, so and I appreciate that, man. You know, I've been locked in as well, talking about the Bears or getting these last, trying to condense down what we want to do for the last prospects of the show, and I've been locked in on that shit for. I've been on it. Just say that, and I ain't gonna be able to get to all the stuff that I want to, but I've been on it, and to decompress from these shows, and in between that, doing these breakdowns, looking at all this film. I turn to music. And I'll tell you something, man. I dip my toe in about every genre there is of music, just about. And I feel confident in doing any kind of music. But one of the things that I really never did over the years is do ballads.
BALADS.
BALLADS, ballad.
Oh, that's soft shit.
You call it soft, I call it love music.
Yeah, soft. When you make it love, it's soft. The sugar wall.
Okay, soft. Okay, I take that. But let's just say over the past few months, I've been really racking up some nice tracks, right? And that I think are really nice. And recently, within the past few weeks, I got the nerve to bring one past my girlfriend. And she was just like, it ain't my thing. But I felt so good about it. My instincts was tingling. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put this on out there. I put it out there, and it's probably I got the most hearts on this motherfucker. Almost all the stuff that I ever did. And I got some good shit out there. And I was just like, hold up. And people started DMing me talking about what it sounded like and what it made them think of. And I'm putting artwork to it so people can have a mindset when they listening to it, right? And so recently I made another one that I ran past my girlfriend again. She didn't like it. I said, this will be one of the ones that get the most hearts. Because your instincts ain't worth shit.
Oh,
obviously. I had to tell her that your instincts is your shit on fire, man. Something wrong. Anyway, sonically, that's what I want to talk about. Musically, it's something, a lane that I never really, I've been tinkering with it, some of that, I don't know what you want to call it, mid-tempo stuff, that stuff in between hip hop and R&B, just slow R&B, that stuff in between, kind of like dancey stuff, party kind of stuff. But then to slow it down and get into them ballads to me, in my opinion, I think that sound frequency is important to what's happening now to kind of get the perspective back where it needs to be. And everything is so goddamn aggressive and drug induced, and it's just effing ridiculous to me, the music that's coming out right now. And so it's my intention to inject that kind of, the last one I just did was about, it's kind of like telling a story within the sound and the image that I made for it. And it's just like, everybody has run into that situation where they really was feeling somebody and y'all was feeling each other together, but something didn't work out and he or she betrayed you or just didn't live up to the expectation. Now you don't even want to even fool with love no more because you just to mess you up. And so that's kind of what the track was designed to do. And the image the graphic that I created is definitely it's gonna trigger emotions, man.
SOF capital T, soft.
Yeah, thank you for that, man. God damn. Well, I can't wait till one of you son bitches start telling them.
Yeah. I was waiting for the right time for that.
You need a man with sense of
y'all some. You know what? You two cats, man. If y'all don't open up, you know what? Y'all show signs of weak men, man. Because real men can handle all their emotions, all the variety of their emotions. There's a soft pat inside of both of you motherfuckers. But you scared to embrace him. You scared to embrace him.
Oh no, I'll cry when I need to cry.
Levante, I got him, bro. I got him, man. Look, it's funny you bring that up. That's like the one area of music where I'm just like, I can't do it, man. I can't go down that lane. It's not my lane.
You got to.
I'll listen to it and enjoy it. I'll even sing it, but I can't write it. I can't.
Hey, Tez, let me give you a loving brother's advice, man. Let me tell you something. Next level of manhood is being able to handle all your range of emotions, whether it be your sentimental side, whether it be your hardcore side, or all those things that fall in between those two areas. The man in you wants to embrace all that because you're human at the end of the day, and you have all of that stuff. Now you can create a big, huge naval blockade of your sentimental emotions and be incomplete. Like, I'm the kind of person that, like, I'm not scared of none of my emotions. There ain't nothing soft about me. I beat your ass in the street. I mean, it's just I'm not scared of that because that's a part of me that's real. That's a real part of me.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I consider a good, healthier human emotion to be able to, let's say, if you need to curb stomp some dude's head in on the curb, that's fine. But then also, if you need to show some empathy because you see a puppy who's hungry and cold, you go help the puppy. You curb stomp dude and help puppy. That's a good range of emotions, right?
More importantly, Trip, I think it was all about, for me. I come from a bunch of women helped raise me. You know what I mean? So I got a particular soft side for
I'm itching to press the soft button again, but you keep going.
No. I got a particular sensibility to how women are treated and their responsibility. They're the mothers, they're the creators of all life in mankind, and they get, treated the worst, especially women of color, man. I mean, they ain't getting the best treatment out here in the world. And I'm sensitive to it because I was raised by women of color. And so that comes out of me sometimes when I'm creating. And so if the music comes off and it's just okay, I understand is what I'm saying through the music. I understand.
Yeah, I used to I'm raised very similarly. And then I met women myself outside of my household and realized that some of them are assholes. So I'm a little bit on the other side of this, right? Like I'm being super duper real. It sucks. Women are mistreated and they should be treated better in our society across the board. And I was all for, all of those things. Because again, my mama, single mama, raised me. That's kind of how she went. I did know my dad and he was around, so that was an upside for me. But end of the day, women, you ruined me. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm sorry about that, kids.
Leave it that way. Sorry.
You know what, man? I would never say a woman ruined me, even if I've had the worst of experiences with them.
Oh, I'm saying it for sure.
I would never say that.
I'm putting it out there.
I believe a woman or several women gave you not so good experiences, and that's just that.
Several.
But you're gonna judge all the rest of women in creation off of what.
Well, they haven't.
It's like me.
Yet, so
it's just like me meeting a woman that's been, bruised, battered, and mistreated by dudes, and I got to sit here and deal with that mistreatment that she's dealt.
No, thank you.
And I got to sit here and be Dr. Phil with her.
Nah.
You know what I mean? It's like I ain't the one that did none of that shit. But same thing can be said for you. Flipped around as a man. No woman deserves to be not trusted, not treated right because you got some bad treatment for. Man, you got to flush that shit and be a grown ass man.
Oh no, I am a grown ass man, and all these things have been flushed a long time ago. But, and here's the very simple but. I ain't writing no effing ballads. That's where we get. That's where the line is kind of drawn. I'm sorry.
I I'll tell you,
he doesn't have to access that sensitive side, that box that's deep down in his heart, behind the maze, behind the vault.
Did you know that the highest demographic for people that consume music is women by a long shot?
Well, that's because they ain't right in the head and they need that emotional support.
Hey, shut the hell
up.
up.
You're saying that women? No, he's not wrong though.
He's
not wrong. He's not wrong. It's got more to do with just the fact that women are emotionally driven. And yes, I do know that I write, if I'm writing music, I write music women can understand, but I do not write music for women.
Hey, dog, I don't write it for women. I wrote it, and any man can relate to the shit that I produce. It's not like the women are the only ones that have been jilted and heartbroken and any of that kind of stuff. Men have too. They got to carry all this machismo, or they think they do, and put on these airs of, oh, I'm this alpha male, and all that stuff don't bother me. Go ahead, keep living your life like that if that's what you want to do. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to any man who thinks, okay, yeah, you feeling some of that shit. You feeling it in a deep way, but you don't want nobody to know about it, which to me is you camouflaging. And that's the ultimate sign of punk ass shit to me. Be a man and own that shit. If you feel in some kind of way, let it be known. Hey, that shit hurt my soul. My soul has been hurt before by one woman. I was hurt, and it was at a time when I was at close to my peak of just in complete domination. I would just walk out my motherfucking dorm, bro, and get swarmed. And I was with one girl, even though she was in another state going to another school, and she decided to break up with me, and it just crushed me.
Only just a friend.
I don't know if I would call Purple Rain like a ballad, though. Paul?
It's a ballad.
Purple Rain is a ballad, but it's not a love song.
It's not like a love song.
Not a love song. It is a ballad, though.
A ballad to me is just a slow, emotional song, whereas a love song is more about hitting skins.
I find I would call it more. A ballad to me has got much more to do with again a relationship between a man and a woman than anything else. I'd call it more of a love song than.
Well, no, this is a ballad, but with his daddy, his mama, his upbringing.
Like you can't bring Prince into the mix here, Paul. You can't.
It's very emotional. That leads to ballad, bro.
I don't know, man. Like, would you call because I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if
because there's a difference between ballad and love song. Those two different things.
I would call a ballad a love song.
But no. Would you call Johnny Cash's rendition of 9 Inch Nails' "Hurt" a ballad? And would you call it a love song? I would call it a ballad, but it's not a love song.
I don't know if I would call that a ballad either, though.
It's a ballad, man. Anytime you're telling
all right, so you're just saying like a slow song about
emotional, where heartstrings, where you're opening up, being vulnerable, talking about some real shit.
All right, then if that's the case, then I've written tons of ballads.
There you go. But you have not written love songs.
I don't write love songs.
With your soft ass, so you've been doing it all the time.
I'm just saying. If that's the case, I've written tons of them, but I don't do.
Now the actual definition in layman's terms of a ballad. You think of a balladeer, somebody that writes specifically about love. That's your general sense of it, right? But also a ballad can be you opening yourself to sensibilities, and you writing a story about it to music that would generate emotions, right?
My addiction struggles.
Yeah, stuff like that can be a ballad too. I mean, you're just looking up the definition of a ballad.
I'm looking up a definition of the ballad. Okay, all right.
I've seen it before, and it's kind of vague in my opinion.
Words have meanings, and there's subtle differences, but they are differences. Because like when you listen to the Quiet Storm, let's say on any city's popular urban station, they play slow songs, but not all of them are Quiet Storm themed songs, about, making love and such. Some of them are broke up and I hurt, but there's just to a slow tempo.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
GTA, brother. GTA, man.
Right on,
Gay Tony's serious, man. Gay Tony's a serious MF. Look, so here's the definition of a ballad. Ballad is a type of poem or a song that tells a story, usually in a simple and rhythmic way. Traditionally, ballads focus on themes like love, which is my confusion.
What I just got through telling you.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just giving you the definition. Damn it, give me a second. Adventure, tragedy, or folklore. They often use short stanzas, commonly 4 lines, and regular rhyme scheme, making them easy to remember and recite. So it's generally a story. So like we're talking Purple Rain. Purple Rain's definitely a ballad. That's I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot more sense. So yes, in that case, I do like ballads, but like I say, I'm not
you don't like love songs.
What are
one fashion love.
Capital T, soft.
All right, man. Stay off goddamn drops, man.
Yeah.
Listen, one white lady said to me, one of them had some chords in it that sounded like the Doors. And I've heard of the Doors vaguely, but I had no concept who they are.
No, the whole dude was on a lot of drugs, bro.
It was all about some chords. It was all about some chords, and it was to one of those ballads.
Yo,
the Doors played a lot of the Doors played a lot of ballads, but were none of them love songs.
yeah. That's a great way of
I was confused like a motherfucker, bro.
No, man, the Doors is dope, bro. The Doors is dope.
Very good. Very good.
The Doors is dope. My boy's crazy. He was on a lot of drugs, man. And he did like some of his music is super, super dope. I have to put it down, man. And shout out Val Kilmer, rest in peace for that movie, man.
I don't know, man. I got a lot, and I don't know why, but there's a lot of middle-aged white women that follow me, and
you mean cougars?
Yeah, call them all whatever, man. But it's a lot of them that follow me. They love the music, man.
Who got the
and they didn't start following me because of the music. It was because of some of my, my statements, my posts, and different things I say about the world. They love the music now. All of a sudden, they just like waiting for the next something to jump that I put out there. But
now, we'll put it like this, no man. The Door, you've heard their songs. You just didn't know it was them.
Hey, tell me what it is, man.
Riders on the Storm.
Riders of the Storm.
Roadhouse Blues. Light My Fire.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Shit, Backdoor Man, Touch Me. Break on through
to the other side. Break on through. Like he's crazy.
2 times.
You motherfuckers been hanging in white.
Hello, I love you, Gloria.
You didn't see the movie, bro? Like, is this what I'm trying to say?
Man.
Oh, damn it.
Man, you gotta just put on the Doors on YouTube and listen. Man, they are vulnerable in their music because they're so high, but they open up to levels that being high allow them to see, and they espouse on it musically.
Super high, bro. I can't really express how stoned the homie was. I don't know why I'm blanking out on
Jim Morrison.
Name. Jim Morrison, thank you very much.
Adam said they in all the war movies.
Because the 60s, 70s, Vietnam, that was that era, where they were big. The Woodstock generation. With the Jimi Hendrix, the Doors, Janis Joplin, all of those who were, taken too early because of drugs, but they were, icons, social icons, not only for music, but for what they represented at the time. And if you go back and listen to it and listen to the lyrics and put yourself into the place that they were in, you know, with the war, with the conditions that were going on in the country, with civil rights, and put the lyrics in the like the frame when you listen to Marvin Gaye of how he reflected upon those times. They're just doing it in a rock and roll kind of way. But if you listen to it and you actually sit back and vibe to it, it's like, yo, these artists were kicking some serious ballistics.
What you eat? One of them goddamn mushrooms or something?
Nah, you don't even got to. I mean, if you got some, you know, your psycho siblings and such, you know, are fantastic. But if you just want to do some regular mushrooms, I'll grill them up with some garlic and some butter, and they'd be delicious. And we go to Browns and fry them or whatever. But you know, you smoke you some green, or you sit back and you know sip on a little something. But this is more of a not a get hype and let's go work out kind of vibe. It's more of a I'm gonna get on my treadmill or my bike and listen. I'm gonna cut the grass and kind of vibe or whatever you're doing because there's enough music in it that you can get your rock on to and get your head nodding to. Then the lyrics, and it's just a full, you know, instrument, you know, extravaganza going on with them.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm just being honest, man. You know, there's not very many artists that are white that I really just get into. But I like the older stuff, you know, like the more recent people like Eminem and maybe a couple other people that I really feel them.
If you're starting your white music journey with Eminem, you fucked up.
No. Let me finish. I dig the older stuff, like the Creedence Clearwater Revival. Something about that shit sonically really, I just love it. It sounded like they're in a dusty ass.
There you go, Scrolls.
I mean, it's dope. Hall & Oates, definitely one. It's a few.
What do you like, Nirvana?
That era. I can't say that I do or don't because I don't recognize really their stuff.
So that one's on you. I'll say the same thing. It took me a minute to get into Nirvana, bro. Like I had to take it after Biggie and Pac died. I'm telling you, after Biggie and Pac died, I took a time out on hip hop for a minute and started to listen to all the folks who died at 23, all of them. And that includes Kurt Cobain. Listened to all of them, ran through all of their albums, and kind of got a good level set on a lot of different artists, man. And yo, I love me some Nirvana, man. It took me, like I'm telling you, like when they came out, you couldn't play that near me. You know what I mean? I get pissed off. But at this point, there's some Nirvana. I'm like, yo,
when with the artists that like the Doors, like Nirvana, that I'm talking about, it's not only the lyrics that I'm talking about, it's the production, it's the music, it's the solos.
Yep. Yo, so even taking production out, like the live that he did on MTV, Kurt Cobain and them boys, like throw production out the window. It's just just the band and him, and it's dope, bro. It's dope. It's dope. Like there's some good stuff. What about Bowie? You ever listen to Bowie?
David Bowie?
Yeah, I've heard some of his shit that I like. Yeah.
Yo, David Bowie's a mad.
That's back there in the. I like the older stuff for a reason, man.
Rock.
Because it's more diverse musically. I mean, I'm talking about sonically. You can, like, you and Triple R might listen to some music, or anybody else might listen to some music, and they hear a certain something.
Queen.
My ears are different. You know, I hear instruments and how they're laid together and laced. And when you start there, the rhythm of the tune starts to really come out. And like Creedence, I'm telling you, I just love that sound when that shit comes on. It's something about that thing. It's like it was made in a dusty box. And I just love how it sounds, man. It's like a room that didn't really have any music sound glass in it, man, because acoustics was a certain kind of way.
It makes me feel like New Orleans. That's what listening to Creedence makes me feel like New Orleans, like Cajun shit's going on. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the feeling I get.
Voodoo sound and shit.
Voodoo, fucking cayenne pepper. You know what I mean? It's just
when I listen to Jimi Hendrix.
You get that feeling from the Jimi Hendrix?
Similar. Queen as well, man. That's one of my favorite. They made one of my favorite records of all time.
Jimmy's just face melting guitar, man. Like
Phil Collins is dope as hell too.
He's one of my favorite artists of all time, man. I don't care anymore.
I don't fuck with too many white artists. Understand what I mean? Not white artists of today, kind of. It's more of the artists.
Elton John. Oh yeah, Elton John is that Queen.
I'm not so big. What? Oh, yeah, okay. I'm not as big on Elton John. He's okay. He's got a couple songs I really like.
Yeah, I've been down with Elton John since back in the day with Benny and the Jets.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like Madonna. I like Boy George, and I ain't scared to say that out loud.
Oh yeah, Boy George is rocking. Come, chameleon.
Yo, for like the world's first public permanent drag queen, that first album's a banger. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, banger album, Culture Club album's a banger, yo, from front to back.
Yes.
I'll tumble for ya. I'll tumble for ya. I'll tumble for ya. I'll tumble for you.
That shit sounded good, man. And I had a what do you call it? You got a I had a box in the legal box. I'm be honest with you. A long time ago when I was in Georgia, and one of the streams I would get it would just play all of this 80s stuff, and they have this thing called night tracks on there.
Oh, night tracks.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Dog, there was some dope shit. That was some dope shit, bro. Stuff that I would have never probably paid attention to. I know now because of that stream box.
Menage.
It's some dope music. Madonna. There's another. Is this group called, I think, The Machine? Something.
Rage Against the Machine?
No, another something. Rage Against the Machine is one, but it didn't have shit to do with that. Something Machine. Anyway, man, it's some dope music. You got to realize the music was changing in the 80s. It went from a whole bunch of instruments and people playing live stuff to you didn't really have to pay people with that played actual instruments. You can do stuff technologically. There's a lot of synthesized sound and stuff. Yep. But it was dope creatively. You know, you got people like Roger Troutman, George Clinton that took advantage of that shit during that time, man. You talking about Zapp, Roger Troutman, George Clinton, all that Atomic Dog came from the synthesized revolution.
Even Phil Collins, man. I'm going.
Phil
Collins was the first guy to synthesize drums. And when I say that, he's synthesizing live drums. You know what I'm saying? So he's feeding that into a computer and changing the sound of them drum. Like nobody's drums sound like that when he dropped it.
Look at Sam.
That's what made Miami.
See, I used to clown my cousin, man. I used to I used to clown my cousin all the time, but he used to rock that album. And like after when he bought it, clown him. After we listened to that album from front to back, I was like, "Yo, this album is a dope album. I can't even front, man. Boy, homeboy's wearing the dress and all that.
It's
and that's
so
cool.
Catchy, man. How you gonna not sing it and repeat? It's really catchy, man. This shit was really catchy.
Miss You Blind, I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs from him, from that group, anyways. But it's the kung fu kicks in the video and all that, anyways. Dope ass.
How you gonna not repeat? Comma, me.
Yeah.
That's the catchy.
Come and go.
So those are the songs that stick with you and never leave you.
Come and go.
That's what's happening, though, man. Music.
So I met George Clinton, Paul. Me and George Clinton kicked it for. So I opened for him and a couple other bands, but I got to hang out with George. There's a whole story about it, and I'll leave that up for the night. But he's a cool cat, man. He's all right.
Yeah, the whole crew they've been on tour, since the late 60s. And I got to do a gig. I saw him as a fan, was it Red Rock Lollapalooza down in Kansas, but I worked a couple gigs with them, and like they would just be backstage chilling, they at work. You know what I mean? They, a few of them messed with the groupies, a few didn't, but they would just come there, handle their business, polite, cordial, and then bounce. So they were professionals about their profession.
I'm laughing at what Scrolls just put up, man.
They was definitely talking about the areas that were conducive for smoking. Let's say,
man, George Clinton was
that man. Hey, he done smoked crack vicariously.
Hey, look, that's probably the best way to say it, because, like, let's just say George Clinton's a definite rock star. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
He's
a rock star. Party like a rock star.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, I mentioned the groupies, but I left out the dabbling in whatever substances. But it's not a stereotype, but when they say sex, drugs, rock and roll, it could be sex, drugs, blues, sex, drugs, hip hop. Just whatever genre, just throw sex, drugs in front of it. Yeah.
Pretty much, man. But no, I was at something like that Lollapalooza, man. We have something called Blues Fest here, and I opened for the Roots, George Clinton. I'm trying to remember who else was there, but those were the bands that I wound up kicking it with. I was kicking it with the Roots, hung out with Dice Raw, Black Thought's an asshole. I'll just say that out loud. And George Clinton. I was trying to get George Clinton some chicken, man, and it just didn't work out. So there's a whole story. Anyways.
Hey, by the way, Trips, what's that guy's name that pervert on Family Guy?
Quagmire.
Giggity. Because my girlfriend's back here with no shoes and socks on.
I can smell them from here.
You probably do. She ain't been in the shower.
Stop it.
She about to get in the shower.
She's running. She's running.
So that's why you need to do a between the toe check, and then after the shower, then a after check to make sure all the crusties is out between there, all the jammies.
She over here gesturing. She want to punch you in your fucking
reel this shit back in. Damn.
Woo. All right, man. Y'all ready to get on some football, man? If y'all ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's kick it, because I want to hear some of these prospects. Especially some of these UDFA prospects.
You about to get your stomach full here, man. We got some guys, man. Give me a second. All right, let's start off right at the top. This is Juanez Fortillion, receiver out of Jackson State. He is 6'5". Again, I repeat, 6'5", 200 pounds. Red zone demon. Red zone demon. He's going, kids, when you turn this on, he's going to remind you so much of the guy we just got as a UDFA last year, having a brain fart of his name.
Jade Walker.
He comes down with the ball. Throw that thing in his vicinity. His hand, he's so strong. His upper body is so strong that his his body control in that when the play is happening, guys just kind of bounce off of him. Bounce right on off of him, man. He's got great body control, strong, magnetic hands, and can run. And he will take your top off. This guy is the whole deal playing down there at Jackson State. He's one of the leftovers from Dion when Dion was there. I think Dion might have had him as a freshman. But, man, this guy is an NFL receiver if you ever want to see one. Juanez Fortillion is one of them dudes in the after-draft market. I wouldn't be surprised if he got drafted. I'm telling you, he's special in the red zone, and you got to have it plays. He just comes down with the ball. He competes and comes down with the ball. 50-50 catches, forget it. It's more like 80-20. This guy can play, man, and he deserves to be on the NFL roster. But he might be one of the victims and of somebody that, hey, it could be an after draft prospect here. But man, he's got talent. 6'5", 200 pounds, and can run like a deer. You kidding? At Jackson State. He's a problem in the red zone. Yeah, you run into problems getting them. These are some of the HBCU guys, and so when you go to YouTube looking for some of this stuff, it might not be readily available. You might have to go to Huddle if you're looking for something on him. But you put the name in there, there's got to be at least one or two on YouTube. You got to find it somewhere. But this dude he's a stud receiver, and he's physical. Great contact balance, magnetic hands, and from an HBCU that needs more attention, man. I'm showing them some love. I'm gonna give them their respect. Juanes Fortillion is a dog. You're not seeing that?
I'm having a hell of a time finding. Let me. I'm gonna try.
That's gonna happen with some of these HBCU guys. Algorithm ain't their friend. Let me see. Another thing that I noticed about him is how he prepares for the catch, like in the red zone. Like when he's in the route, you don't see him having to push off or do anything like that. He attacks the ball at its highest point. And once he gets hands on it, game's over. Great contact balance, great field awareness, knows where the sidelines and the markers are. And he's going to get his feet down like 90% of the time. It's like he's not fazed by the physicality of a defensive back. It's almost not fair that a guy under 6 foot has to guard this guy because you can't do nothing with him. He's just too much more physically than somebody under 6 foot can deal with. You have to be a special under 6 foot defensive back to deal with him. And I ain't seen one like that, man. He's different.
Oh. Now, what other than the red zone, what is it? We got route tree or what is it? Is he an X guy? Is he a deep guy? Is he a middle guy? Or is he just like a red zone guy?
He's an X or Z. He's a pretty good solid possession receiver. And what really sticks out to me is what I'm talking about highlighting is him in the red zone. It really sticks out like a big sore throbbing ass thumb. It really sticks out. But in between, in the rest of the field, he's very effective whenever you can put the ball in his hands. And so when I talk about dependable and when you got to have it plays, this is the guy they throw the ball to. You just got to have it and you need to make a play. Much like Jade Walker. You need to make a play. You trust this guy. If you put that ball in the air and it's a contested opportunity for the defensive back and the receiver, 80% of the time, this cat's coming down with that ball.
And especially the way, if not just Caleb, but a quarterback is delivering a ball that's, up higher in the higher end of his catch radius. Yeah, no defensive back gonna have a chance with that.
Magnetic hands, and you can't teach 6'5". Cannot teach 6'5" that can leap. He's a physical, kind of freakish kind of football player because with all that size and at 200 pounds, surprisingly, he will dust your ass and break the top off your defense. You just don't, it's a rare combination of size, physical bulk. I'm talking about size, I mean height, physical bulk, weight, and the ability to be able to run right past you like a deer. He's got all three of those traits. And he's a competitor. I mean, you talking about competing for that ball when it's in the air, it's his. He's already made that decision while you trying to figure out how you're going to defend this ball. He's already made the decision. That's mine. I'm tapping my toes down, touchdown. He knows he's more physically talented than everybody around him. Now the level is going to step up once he does get to the NFL. He's going to get more physical cornerbacks, a little bit more elite coverage ability, more tactical guys that know how to kind of play this kind of stuff when they start dragging your arm, and when you're going up for the ball, they might hook an arm or something like that. You know, cats do stuff like that and get away with it a lot of times in the NFL. But he's going to have to learn. He's got too many one-handed catches in those situations in college to count. He just snags the ball right out of the air. Very, very strong upper body and strong hands. It's going to be a treat for whoever can get their hands on it. He's going to be one of them camp studs, whether he's drafted or as a UDFA. Kids, you still having trouble finding the tape?
No, I'm watching the tape. He's all the stuff you're talking about. He is like, it's funny because I know how good the quarterback he's playing with is, but he's taking real advantage of this particular guy, right? And when I say that, there's a few end zone plays where he just quite literally throws the ball out of bounds. Just like a lob out of bounds. And because your boy's so tall, Tony toe tap and 6'5", he's pulling that in. That's a touch now. It's quite literally that. So it's a cheat code, and that's everybody needs a cheat code. Ever play Contra?
This cat right here is. Oh, I love that game, by the way. But
up, down, left, right, BA. That's what we're looking at right here.
This guy is that 6'5" is legit 6'5". He might be more like 6'6".
He's tall.
Got freakishly long arms and magnetically strong hands.
Size is good. I mean, you could see Ben Johnson using him in blocking capacity. But what you mentioned is the thing. Like, usually when you get to 6'3", 6'5", there's somewhere that speed is sacrificed unless your name is Megatron. But in this situation, I don't see a lot of drop off in speed. Like there's a bunch of snaps where he's not in the end zone and he's blowing past folks and making you run him down. That's interesting. I did try to take a look at his potential draft stock. This guy's definitely a UDFA, but hey man, if you can draft and develop, if you can develop UDFA talent like this, do it, right? And more power to Antoine Randall L.
I'm gonna say some words, kids, and seeing that you've had eyes on him. I don't know if it's Juanez or Jonaz. I'm gonna call him Jonaz this time, just because I said Juanez. Jonaz Fortillion is a grown ass man as a receiver. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Physically, just built for it.
Yeah, he's making folks look like little boys out there.
He's a grown man, dog, and you need that as an added attribute to when you got that kind of presence in your game. You're going to need that on the next level because you're going to be dealing with grown-ass men. He's a grown-ass man, and that's to me a surefire sign of a guy that can play in the NFL without even blinking. He can play in the NFL and will play in the NFL. Hopefully he gets his opportunity sooner rather than later, but somebody's going to get a treat here.
It's interesting that kids mentioned earlier about the path, to the NFL. Just by his name, he sounds, maybe his family, came from France.
Oh, really?
I'm guessing. I'm speculating. Juanez, Fortillion. I met many homies from the hood named that. From around the way. So they had to come from somewhere, someplace with some French origins, maybe an island or something, Haitian, that Red Baron just said. but it would be interesting to hear his backstory, because athletes end up at Jackson State from wherever they're recruited. And if Coach Sanders, Neon Deion Sanders, recruited this kid from wherever, who knows, back in his Jackson State heyday, this is a top athlete, a top talent, because that's all he was going after at the time. And that's who makes it to the HBCUs. It's not the local kids from that area. It's the kids who are of color that can play ball, who are willing to travel that area to get the opportunity to be drafted or at least make it to the league.
Hey, I know one thing. He really had no business playing on that level. To be honest with you, his skill set had really no business being on there. It was easy for him. He's going to step up 2 more notches at one time once he gets to the NFL and be challenged. But I know for a fact he's going to be a problem. Again, you can't teach 6'5", 200 with speed. You cannot.
Oh, you can't.
You either got it or you don't. And he's a playmaker. So this is a monster, man. Jonas Fortillion out of Jackson State. Well, let's get to the next guy. This is Chris Mosley. Kids, you're going to love this cat. I'm just going to tell you right now, you falling in love with these little home run hitters, and that's exactly what Chris Mosley is, a home run hitter. He will house it. He will house it.
House you.
Too many times I've seen this guy. Great contact balance. Great contact balance. Great receiver out of the backfield. Willing blocker. He's only 5'11", 180. But he's willing. He's willing to block. He's definitely going to be a gadget piece. Until he puts on a significant amount of weight, he's not really going to help you in pass protection much, but a chip or two here or there. But this guy's feet and his vision doesn't belong at North Carolina Central. He should have been playing on a top level college team, but here he is at North Carolina Central, just tearing their asses apart. He's a straight. He's going to the house if you don't form tackle this cat, he's going to run right through this shit and hit you and hit his head right on the goalpost. He's a home run hitter. I've seen him just dominate games. They just put the ball in his hands and ain't nothing the defense can do once the initial person at the first line of contact, whether it's the defensive lineman or the linebacker, once he beats one of those two guys, he's gone. He's gone. Great vision. He's got a little juke to him, but I've seen him hit it north-south more than I've seen him hit it, being the quick juke guy. He's hit it north-south more often in the stuff that I've seen than, taking it to the outside or just trying to avoid tackles and things. He hits the running lane and he's gone. His burst is magnificent. Gets from 0 to 10 really, really fast. And that's weaponizing material right there. Kez is looking at the tape and he wants to say something, but you want me to keep talking while you finish looking?
I'll chime in here now. I need to see it. I need to see more because you kind of covered it. Like, this athlete, he's got really good contact balance. Is the first thing I'm gonna say. I don't understand his vision. Like, I don't understand it, but it works. Like it
got very, very good vision.
Like, because he's not there. He might do a jump cut in the backfield at the receiving the handoff. He'll get the handoff and maybe juke a little bit, and then it's just acceleration, and nobody can stop him. And I don't understand it.
He seems to beat all the angles.
He understands. The quickest way from A to B is what?
It's a straight line, bro. And he finds that straight line, and somehow nobody can stop him. And it's pretty crazy.
Hey, Kez, talk for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. So you got a decent.
And if you look at him, he has that He doesn't have a typical, let's say, sprinter run for a running back. He's
No.
more compact, like he's, chugging up a hill, but his head's not moving. So, he's steady in that sense, but the knees are churning. He's, stepping out of ankle tackles. He's just a very fluid runner, but I would say like he runs angry, kids.
It's like everything you kind of wanted to have in Roshan Johnson is kind of like what I would say. It's just Roshan Johnson tends to seek contact, which is kind of counterproductive, or at least it's served to be counterproductive for Roshan Johnson. In the end, he's got concussion issues, et cetera, as opposed to running into a guy, which this guy will do if needed. He's just finding straight area and creative. He hurdled the homie in this last clip.
Kez and Trips, I'm gonna make a statement, and I'm gonna see if you guys agree with it, given that you guys are looking. For a guy, when I say the weight of 180, he runs much stronger than he should.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
You agree or disagree with that?
I wouldn't have guessed that he was 180. I would assumed at least 210.
The way that he runs, man. So it goes to show you that a guy, he plays much stronger than his weight would indicate. Much stronger. Because the way he runs through arm tackles and people around his legs, and he runs with a guy about 215, 220 kind of leg power. I mean, it looks effortless, man. I'm like, hold on, what's his weight again? I went back twice to make sure. This guy is very strong. He's just one of them ungodly strong, small people.
He's all right in pass pro. I'm watching it now. It's okay. Yeah, I really love Benungai's pass pro at this point, but he's all right in pass pro. What I don't see a lot of, if at all, is any. There's not a lot of passes for him in the receiving game. There's a couple option option passes.
Highlights. He got targeted, and he's a very good receiver.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a pretty good receiver.
I didn't see any in this particular set of clips, but he's all right. Like this is an interesting back. Like I say, north-south all day long, and he just I don't know how he does it. He just kind of creates his own room, and it's vision and acceleration after that.
Powerful, man. He's a powerful little guy.
Yeah.
And not scared of going right up the center of the defense and absorbing some of the contact that's going to come with it. You got to have some brass cojones at 180 to take it right up the middle of a defense at that size. I'm just going to tell you, that's where the worst of the contact can happen, is right up the middle of the defense. Most guys his size are going to want to bounce it pretty much every play to get themselves some daylight, and so they have to run into a 230-pound linebacker and stuff like that. That's just natural instincts for a guy that small. He has no reservation whatsoever hitting that thing right up the middle. If he'll leap over you, he'll juke around you, and if need be, if there's nothing else, he'll accept that contact and try to run right through you.
Yeah. You got a stiff arm too, man.
Oh, yeah. Nice. What was the 40? He said, what was the 40 time on Fort Tilt?
So
I have no idea.
So I looked. I'm getting a low of 4.52 and a high of 4.70. None of these are official times.
Did that look like his game speed to you?
I would say he's probably south of 4.52. That would be my thoughts. 4.5 is pretty average for a wide receiver. I would think he's probably a little bit faster than my guess, probably about a 4.47, but that's just from what I was looking at on the film.
So we're looking at 6'4", 6'5", running a 4.4, 4.5
We're talking about Fortillion, not Chris Mosley, y'all.
Oh, Mosley. Okay, all right. Yeah, because Mosley, he's 180, so he's a smaller. How tall is Mosley?
Mosley's 5'11".
Oh, so he's got more height than I thought he would have at 180 pounds.
Yeah, he's but he's built, man. I seen the cat out of pads. I seen him talking, seen him working out. He looks like kind of like Kyler Gordon in his build.
Interesting.
Probably a little more, probably a little more chopped. And I'm talking about chisel. He's an athlete.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
What up, Crooked? Hey, link up with Kez, man, so we can get you in this draft coverage and your guys too, man.
Me and him were chopping it up earlier today. So there's that. We'll see what we can do.
We get that. We'll make that happen, man. Everybody needs to get in here, man. Have a good time with everybody.
Samo.
Yes. Samo, we gonna be all weekend, man. He says Mosley ran 4.48 at his HBCU showcase. That shows up on tape.
That's crazy.
That shows up on tape. He's probably, to me, a little faster than that.
I don't know, but it's that he has this acceleration and it's immediate. 0 to 60 in nothing. But he excels right into the secondary. And good luck if you're in the secondary taking him down.
All right, y'all ready to get to the next guy? I'm gonna give you one more HBCU guys before we get to some other big name schools or bigger name schools. This guy, you're gonna love him, kids. I promise you that. This is Jeremiah Williams out of also Jackson State University. Woo! He is fun to watch. Jeremiah Williams is 6'2", 315 pounds. All three technique. I ain't gonna say all three technique because he can hold it down in the middle too, on the tip. But boy, this dude is action personified and absolutely hard to deal with. He's a real big boy. And so when I say this all the time, we talk about big boys that probably do too much in the training room and in the cafeteria to try to become a bigger big boy. No, he's a natural big boy. And bouncy, quick, athletic, engine. Jeremiah Williams, I'm telling you, is a good chance this guy's gonna get drafted, in my opinion. I think, yeah, probably him and Jonas Fortillion. I think out of the three HBCU guys we're talking about, stand the best chance to get drafted. Jeremiah Williams ain't no sleeper to these NFL scouts. I promise you that. He reminds me of Grover Stewart, nose tackle from the Indianapolis Colts. He came out of a small HBCU school, I think in either Texas or might have been Texas somewhere. Small school, just like where Jeremiah Williams is playing at. HBCU turned into a multi-million-dollar football player because the scouts had the sense to know that this guy's skill set, his size and strength, and the way he plays is real deal NFL talent. He's the real deal. Jeremiah Williams, his hands are so powerful. He's so quick off the ball for a guy his size and very active. Motor, he's just running all the time. He's intending on being a forceful big person. He knows he's a big dude and he wants to put that weight on you. So when he tackles people, he tackles you with all his weight included. And I like guys like that.
Well, isn't that a penalty nowadays?
I was gonna say quarterbacks hate guys like that.
He says he ran a 4. I don't care how fast he ran in a 40. He had never run a 40 again in his life. Ever.
You know what's crazy, Levante? He takes running back snaps.
He's a freak ass athlete.
I just watched him take a couple of running back snaps, and the whole it took the whole team bring the homeboy down. That's all I can tell you. All the secondary and the linebackers, all of them took him.
He's a real deal big boy. He said he could be Kansas' son.
No, my son don't look nothing like you. Be my son looks, and I mean,
I met his son before, man. His son smelt. Trust me.
When you see Akeem Mentor, even down to the face, they resemble each other in a major way, to the level that my cousin who's in Florida, she hollered at me and she's like, "Hey, like, who's Akeem?" like it was like who's a pappy? You know what I mean? Like that was basically the conversation. And I was like, I don't. Oh, Akeem from North Gloucester. I know Akeem. She's like, are you sure he's not one of yours? It's like, no. She's like, he looked just like you. It's pretty crazy, but they resemble each other very much. My boy's put on a little bit more muscle now, though. He's a little bit more swole.
And he's a nice kid, man. I love him right off, just immediately, man. I like the kid, man. Kid's got a nice kid, man. He's definitely he's chopped. He's chopped. He's not no fat boy at all. But yeah, man, this guy right here, and sorry about the graphic, man. It's nasty work here. Sometimes you
don't tell the wife, Scrolls.
Nasty work. The graphic doesn't look the best, but I am telling you, this guy's going to play in the NFL, and given some time and opportunity, this guy's going to be a stalwart in the middle of somebody's defense, whether it's at nose, whether it's at three technique. I love put either role that he played at Jackson State, because even at edge, they threw this guy out to the edge and he won regularly. It wasn't like one or two snaps here and there. No, he took fairly regular snaps at the edge. They would throw him anywhere in that defensive line and he'd get results. He just wins.
Hey, you gotta watch these running back snaps. It's crazy. Like, you wouldn't believe it if I.
Yes, I would, man. He's that athletic.
He's got some motor that is surprising. I wouldn't say it's. Yo, these stiff arms are ridiculous.
I'm gonna shut up for a second, kids. Tell me what you think about.
I like. Look. So he's listed at about 700 in the NFL draft right now, but at least he's listed as a player, which is good. Just like you're saying, that means teams are familiar. Somebody may be looking at this particular player. Super hard to handle on the line. He's getting through. He's getting into the backfield, and he's wreaking havoc on almost every snap that I'm watching here. Unless he's going in the other direction and he's running the football, which is also a problem. If you need a couple of yards, Ben Johnson, you line up this homeboy with the ball, you probably get one or two. I don't know if you're getting, I wouldn't sit there and say house call or anything like that. But if you need 2 yards, I don't know how you stop this kid. I don't know how you stop him.
I know one thing. He's a spectacular run stopping defensive tackle.
For sure. And again, surprisingly, like, I wouldn't call him fast. I'm going to say, like, surprisingly quick, mad motor. He will follow you down the line and he'll get you. He'll put your ass in the dirt.
Man, I just love the way he fights at the line of scrimmage, and he plays with such determination, man.
Yeah.
He plays with just absolute, like, I'm going to dominate. I'm going to make sure that I dominate you and anything you try to do to me, and I'm going to make a play at this football. Whether or not I make this tackle, I'm going to present myself behind this line of scrimmage. He makes that his effing mission. And that's determination. That's next level. When I want to bring somebody in with a personality type that thinks a certain way, he doesn't think that people should be able to stop him. That's that big boy shit. He's a true big boy, man.
He is. It's funny though, Scrolls, like, you made like the general comparison to my son. Like, he plays like my son played before he became a vegan. Like, he actually does kind of remind me of my son at the DT position many moons ago. Now, oh snap! Again, another running back snap. Anyways, he moves bodies, man. He gets the job done. I'm kind of surprised by what I'm seeing here. So big ups to Jeremiah Williams and what he's able to put on the field. I hope I hope somebody out there is paying attention. I think he'd be really disruptive for a football team.
I'll say
he's got heart, Levante. You're right.
I'll say this in closing about this guy. And there's this thing about a guy playing at an HBCU school and knowing that, I'm only going to get so much notoriety. It's only going to go so far because I'm at this HBCU and I know I'm better than this. And he plays like that. He's just like, F this. Y'all going to understand who I am.
They're looking at him.
Y'all going to know who I am. By the time this game is over, that heart, that determination, it just bleeds through the tape all the time. All the time. I just love this guy's intensity, man, and the size. And he plays like his size. He's a true big man with big man personality. Like, he's a bully out there in the trenches.
Look, he plays with he plays with intensity, and you can almost feel when you watch him how much he loves football. I think he loves the sport, man.
All right, before we get to the next guy, who do you think the best football player was between Jonas Fortillion and Jeremiah Williams?
Ooh. I'm gonna say Jeremiah Williams. Like Jonas is like I said, he's a cheat code. He's a little bit of a freak in nature, and he can definitely be utilized in special capacity, and that's in that red zone. He really can. But the other kid shines, man. He shines. If you ever have a question about a player who has, whether a player loves the sport or not, I don't think you would ever have that question with Jeremiah Williams.
And I'm not taking anything from either one of them. I rank them just for our needs. I'd have to go Jeremiah Williams.
Yeah.
And only because of the needs, because I think actually all three of them to me in their own right are neck and neck.
Now, I'll say this though. I'll say the opposite, right? If I'm the Chicago Bears and I'm drafting, I would probably actually draft Fortillion, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
Because great question. I expect them to be in the DT market much earlier than this, right? I think they're in that DT market in a big way. I don't expect them to be in the wide receiver market per se. So they might be looking at a wide receiver as a UDFA or a very late round pick. And if that's the case, you could go get a Fortillion.
I can appreciate how your mind's thinking there.
Yeah.
We got Booger McFarland on the show, though.
Oh.
That's Triple
R. Yeah. He's like 4 shades darker than me, but okay.
You kind of do look like it, man. A little bit.
I would never say that to you. I would never say that.
Hey, Bug getting them broads though. I'm just telling you, man.
Oh yeah,
girls like big boys nowadays.
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
okay. They like them big boys, man. I don't know why they like big boys. They motherfuckers sweating and shit, but they like them.
I know he was pulling them. I'm not Anyways, I question anybody who would
I tell you something.
Allow other people to call you Booger at
hey, no. Back to the big boy thing. Let me tell you something. Somebody told me when I was in Indianapolis. A female. She told me that, and I'm talking about real deal shit. We was in a conversation. Everybody was drinking. She was speaking her real native tongue. She told me she's like, a lot of girls go after the bigger cats because they know they got money because they eat.
Oh, it's about the food.
They can afford food. Look at them.
These
like real deal. That's what. And she was fine as hell. I looked at her all upside her head. I was just like, what?
Well, see that. Well, I can't be mad at him because that's my logic. Closing up at the bar and see a hefty heifer. But I know she got some snacks at the crib. Come on, girl.
Oh, she gonna feed you.
I'm talking about her looking at you. Like this is a real nice looking slim ass female that is like she's looking at bigger dudes, like bigger dudes look like, okay, yeah, he got something going on, man. He
But you
got
see, them slim chicks ain't got no food at the crib. They ain't got no snacks.
Indianapolis, they ain't looking for no skinny dude. I'm just telling
you. Well, I don't know big dudes looking for no skinny women. Shit.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Because they skinny.
What two big motherfuckers gonna do but create a whole lot of bacon grease?
Mm-hmm. And don't everything taste better with bacon grease?
A whole lot of grease and stink.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
All right, let's get to the next guy, and this is Jalen Stroman out of Notre Dame, and I hope FFG is still watching. This is a slept-on guy, really, really slept-on guy. Sleeper in the draft. He is. Let me make sure I got it right. Damn, I didn't write his stuff down. Okay, I got it. 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a big safety. He's a big safety. And let me tell you, he lost his job at some point in the season. I don't remember. Unfortunately, I had to watch a few, Notre Dame games. I do not like Notre Dame. I'm just going to put that on the record. I don't like them cats. But I had to watch them because they got a lot of talent on the team. And also, I run into a whole lot of crisscrossing when I'm watching other people's tape, and then other guys flash on that tape. It just so happened that this happened here. Jalen Stroman, let me just say why he got benched, and I know exactly why he got benched because I watched enough of the games. Sometimes he took too many chances. He saw ball and wanted to get ball, and sometimes, Notre Dame, every game is a Super Bowl at that school. And so one or two of those mistakes, I don't care how good you are, how highly you were recruited and ranked, that'll get your ass on the bench. Because, of course, at Notre Dame, they got somebody as good as you behind you. And he got benched at some point in the season because he took too many chances. And that's the chance you take whenever you gamble and jump a route. If that doesn't play off in your advantage, you're the king of the town when that shit works out for you and you make a play on the ball and it's a difference maker in the game. But if you fail, you're the crud and the turd of the town. That happened to him in South Bend. He got benched. But that doesn't lessen his talent. He is very capable. Very, very capable. Good instincts. And I say that on top of saying that he made some bad mistakes and didn't make a play on the ball and it cost the team. But, I take a guy that has failed and can understand the reason why he failed. And he ended up being a starter again. And he made a mistake. But this guy's a good safety. And he could or could not get drafted here, based on what I'm hearing about him. I don't know. But you're talking about a high-level safety that if you put in the presence of a defense that has some discipline to it, or you put him in the presence of a defense that has somebody like a Dennis Allen that tells him, hey, trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. If you don't get it, you don't get it. We ain't gonna turn you into a statue because of it. We're gonna roll with it, and next time you'll get it. And that's what kind of player he is. He's willing to take chances. And I like playing with guys like him. Take a chance to turn the ball over. Everything cannot be played safe. He's got great instincts, really good range, really good length, and just really good ball hawking capability. He just made some mistakes at Notre Dame, and he got crucified for it, to be honest with you. But the plays he made is outstanding. Are you looking at him, kids?
I am. They got him blitzing quite a bit, and he's a surefire tackler. He gets in there and makes his impression felt quickly in the run game. In coverage, pretty decent in coverage as well. I can't really complain. He's got good instincts, but I can see what you're saying. He does take a couple of chances here and there, and I think think you're right. I think that's what must have come back to bite him in the ass. But I like what I see. Draft stock, he's about listed at about 350. So again, might get drafted, possible UDFA. Really depends on what teams need out there with respect to the safety market. But he's a player folks know about.
What I like about him is he's more than willing as a tackler. He will hit you.
Yes, he will.
He will hit you. He's going to be definitely supportive in the running game. And I do think he understands route concepts better than most defensive backs because of some of the stuff that I've seen, especially on screen concepts, because most teams do this screen routes at least 10 times a game. On a low end, maybe 7, they might run 7 screens and get nothing out of it. But they teach this well with these defensive backs. Some of the things that happen that's going to trigger his mind and know that this is about to be a screen, he will jump that shit and take that shit back to the house.
You nailed it. I've watched him do it a couple of times, and that's exactly where instincts came into my point of conversation. And then you have the tackling. If you're looking for a box guy, I think he's really good as a box guy. The only thing that I might say he's maybe a little bit on the slower side of things. It doesn't show on tape, but 40 time that I'm seeing is about 4.7. Doesn't look like he's playing at 4.7 speed at all.
His football speed doesn't say 4.7 whatsoever.
I don't think so either. Maybe it was just a bad day.
That's just what I think about 40 times and all that kind of stuff. If I see it on the field, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm giving you both sides, right? I don't see slow. I see methodical. So
and Red Baron, not Kyler's backup. We signed Cam Lewis for that. My question is Jalen Stroman. How does he fit in the safety backfield with Kobe Bryant? Is he the up close box guy, or is he the fallback guy?
He'd be a good box. I'd have to say.
I think either way, I think he's versatile in a way that he can do both. Because of his foot quickness and his range, he can really close on the football. And that's the main thing when it comes to defensive coordinator. Can I leave you up top and trust you if you got to play the middle of the field as a one high safety in a quarters kind of 3/4 kind of situation where you're the high safety? Can you backpedal and be able to play both sides of the ball? So it could be 2 receivers on each side of him running deep routes. Can you play that? And once the ball is released, can you close on the ball when the ball's in the air? And he's got that.
Good closing speed, good instincts with respect to it as well. I can't say that enough.
Good talent.
Yeah.
Might be kind of on the outside looking in as far as the draft. I don't know, but love to see him in the Chicago Bears uniform as a UDFA. That's what I would like to see. All right, let's get to somebody that I've been thinking about and working on for quite some time. And this is Blake Miller. This will not be a sleeper. This will not be a UDFA. This will be a highly drafted. He's going to go one of the first 2 or 3 guys that come off the offensive line. Offensive lineman, he's coming off one of the first 2 or 3. Period.
Yeah.
He'd be one of the first 2 or 3 selected, in my opinion, because he might be one of the maybe there's one guy that I would say that has more to him as far as his upside than Blake Miller, as far as his complete tackle ability, and that is Caleb Lomu. That's the only guy I would give an advantage of him. I love a lot of these guys, but Blake Miller is the complete package of a pass protector and of a run blocker. Caleb Lomu is just probably a whole 2 steps ahead of him as far as the total athlete, but this guy is a complete tackle.
Now, Is he on the right side or the left side?
On the left side. You might see him on the right side depending on what was going on during the game, but he played a lot of left tackle. I do think he played a significant amount of right tackle, but his particular situation was on the left-hand side.
Okay.
I think he's a stud. I think he's a starting left tackle tomorrow. I remember Trips asked me if they had to draft a tackle, do I think there was a tackle in the draft? And this is kind of post my deep dive into the tackles, and this is the first thing that came out of my mouth. I don't know if you remember that, Trips, but this is the first thing I said. That's the one guy I know that can come into an NFL starting lineup and play either side. I just seen enough to know. His feet are really, really quick. Really, really quick. And that's probably the most underrated part of how people evaluate it on the outside of an NFL franchise. Us on the outside, you want to know what can make a good tackle and good tackle's upside. It's how quick his feet is, how well he can mirror the guy that's attacking him. How well can he do that? And this guy's got some really quick feet.
Bro, you don't look like a left tackle to me.
He'd be playing on the right side, but he's a left tackle.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, his build. He's built like a tight end. I'm saying
because he's a little light.
He's like
he's 6'7", 315, bro.
Yeah, okay. He doesn't look like he's in this picture. He looks like he's 315. He don't look like 315 when you're watching him play. He kind of looks slender and lean and fast.
It's because he's 6'7".
Yeah. He's got all that height on him. It's
drink of water.
Yeah, man. It's kind of interesting to watch because again, I don't know, at the tackle position you're used to, or at least I'm used to, bigger bodies. He's super tall, but it doesn't, he's not lumbering or slow or anything to that effect. He's pretty
agile and mobile. What you looking for?
Agile and mobile, bro. 100%.
That's what you're looking for. Somebody that's agile, mobile, and can move. It's not so much about bulk because guess what? Who needs a big lumbering when you're running a wide zone scheme and a guy that you need to run that needs to run and hit target points? What do you need a big oomphaloomp for? You need a guy that can really move around and really take care of the job and execute his blocking plan.
I'm going to strangely answer that and say, like, a lot of that has to do with the word anchor, and you kind of want to have a little bit, like, he doesn't look like he has an ass, but he anchors so well.
Exactly. Technically, he's almost flawless and probably shouldn't have played his year in Clemson. I think he's a starting left tackle tomorrow.
Man, in the run game, he's a monster. Ain't no slouch in the passing game either. I see what you're saying.
He's the whole deal, man.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Real talk, he's listed right around where we pick. For me. For me. But I think this might be a massive upgrade on the line.
It didn't take me long to be convinced with him either. I mean, like some guys, you can see technically how, all right, they need to clean up this, they need to clean up that, like right away. I think it might have been a game against South Carolina or something. That's a big game for Clemson against South Carolina. That's a real strong rivalry game there in Carolinas, particularly South Carolina. But when I seen that game, I was just like, oh, this guy can do anything. This guy can be anything you need him to be. And because of that long frame and light posterior he's got on him, first thing you want to do is focus in on how when one of those edge rushers really get down on him, when they put a couple of D tackles out there on him to see if he could hold that down. He held it down because technically he's more superior than their power. And so that's how you can negate power It's technically how you deal with it. You run headlong into it, and you settle down at the right time before that guy can get his big thrust off in him. So you jump set sometimes. And other times you can't. Well, you know what I mean by jump set is you get to him before he gets to you. That's a jump set. You get to the guy rushing you before that guy can get to you. And then he sat down and waited for the pass rusher to get to him, and he beat him to the punch more time than not, and got his hand placement on the defensive lineman before the lineman can get hand placement on him. Good punch. Really good punch. So he again, to me, top, if not the top left tackle in the draft. And I'd argue Caleb Lomu in that conversation, but I wouldn't fuss too much about somebody that said Blake Miller was the best guy there.
This is some of the best. I'm not a big fan of watching offensive tackle tape. I'll just tell you the truth. This is some of the best offensive tackle tape I've ever seen.
I'm telling you, he's tough.
I'm serious.
I'm not. You can admit that I'm not laying it on thick here.
No.
He's good.
So I mean, would this even be a situation where hypothetically the Bears are on the clock at 25 and Blake Miller is miraculously still there, and they send in the card with his name on it? You, knowing the other needs, you would still be okay with a Mr. Miller at left tackle?
It would not surprise me whatsoever if they consider him to be the best player on the board at 25. Whatsoever.
I'm watching this. I'm watching this tape, and yeah, if we're talking about BPA, I can't argue with this. Again, do I personally, my sensibilities, do I want an offensive tackle in the first round? I do not. But if we're talking BPA, I can totally understand the Bears making a move on this kid. This kid is very good, man.
Can you see how he get on ass in the run game too?
Brother, he's a monster in both capacities. He's a lot faster than you would expect for a guy this size. He gets up the field, y'all. Clears people out.
And then also Paul is saying Blake Miller plays with mean. He gets that last hit, will finish the play out consistently. So he got some nasty to him too.
Temperament, attitude. He plays with that black mask on his face. He means business, man. I'll just tell you, man, it would not surprise me one bit if this guy is anywhere lingering around 25 if they stick with that pick. If they thought that there was a chance that he might come off that board, they might move a couple picks up to get him. Because I'm telling you, man, this dude is a weapon offensively. We already got one on the right side that you can use. They really tailored that run game. If you think about it, last year they really tailored that run game to the right side because they knew what was over there. The same thing you can do on the left side when you got a cat like him.
Yeah. This is like, you're right. This is sort of like both. You know, if you fuse Ozzie and Theo together, you would probably get Blake Miller.
I'm telling you, he's a weapon on the offensive line. And it's not easy to say that. That would mean we'd had two weapons on the offensive line. Even though Jonah Jackson was a beast, especially after about the fourth game, when he really got it together with the rest of the offensive linemen, he was a problem.
Oh, yeah.
But this guy can be a problem along that offensive line, man, and really make that run game dominant.
Yeah, well, let's see. Red Baron, I just don't know why we signed Jarrett Willis and re-sign Braxton if we're going to draft the LT at 25. If Miller or the LT, whoever it is BPA, I think the plan is they're going to draft BPA. And if that happens to be left tackle, then it's what it is.
Nothing we can do about it, man. That's why we go so far as we do to explain, try to come up with how they might be thinking there, man. And it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I can see a world where if Blake Miller dance his ass out of the top 15 into the 20th range, the Bears might get there and be like, okay, hold up, let's get up and get him before he's off the board. I can see that.
Scrolls like my sensibility is right where you're at. There's been some investment on that at that position. Actually, in my opinion, a shit ton of investment in that position, including Ozzie, Theo stepping up, Jedrick Wills, Braxton Jones, Karan Amagaji's selection, like all everything at that position. They've pretty much thrown the kitchen sink at it, with the exception of actually drafting somebody in the first round. So
who plays the position?
Who plays the position? I'm just saying, personally, not what I want to do. I feel because of all of that influx of investment, you want to do something. You want to invest somewhere else. You want to shore up another position. And if you do want to invest again in this position, you do so a little bit further back. And the reason being for me is that gives Ozzie the ability to come back and hold down fort when he's healthy, right? If you draft a guy in the first round at this position, you've kind of wasted a third rounder on Karan, and then you've probably wasted a second rounder on Ozzie now, because he's likely not to come back and take that job.
Then you got to flip him for peanuts, but you will flip him.
But you will flip him, right? So that's my thoughts on all of that. But I'm saying, I don't really like watching offensive tackle tape. I don't. This is some of the best offensive tackle tape I've ever seen.
What up, Illy Jones? What up, Corny?
Yeah, he's real good, y'all.
All right, man. I'll tell you, this is the last thing about Blake Miller. I was kind of petty with watching his tape, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. And I really don't know why, but when I first started watching the tape, I'm just like, wait a minute. All right, I can't remember the first game I watched with him, but I remember, like, this is really good. And it can't continue to be that good. All right, put this to the side. That was real good. Keep going on down the list of the guys you got. And you keep going and going and going. Next thing you know, you end up back at Blake Miller, because you end up watching somebody else, and Blake Miller jumps out again. And you go back to the Blake Miller tape. I'm just like, hold on, man. This cat is good. I mean, good.
He's standing fools up or putting them in the dirt.
He's better than, how people got excited about the cat from LSU last year.
Oh, that went to the Patriots.
Yeah,
under Coach. I love my wife, Rabel.
Bro, he make that.
I'm sorry, I care about my wife, Rabel.
That dude. What up, Samo? He came back. Hey, man, look. They in two different weight classes, bro. This guy can move so much better.
Will Clark.
No, it's not Will Clark. Is it Will Clark?
I don't think the last name Clark.
Will Grant?
Will something.
Will something. What up, Corey?
With the T-Rex arms. You're right, Patrick.
Yeah. The one Hogue was talking about him all season long. Will something.
Will Campbell.
Will Campbell.
Will Campbell?
Will Campbell, that's it.
Will Campbell. Oh.
That's it. Yeah, Will Campbell can't hold him. No. This motherfucker is way better.
I don't know what the arm situation is, but I'm not even going to look. I don't care.
He's nasty on top of that. He's nasty on top of it. He's the real deal, man. I'm telling y'all right now. If the Bears are at 25 and sticking to 25, and this guy lingers around in the draft and doesn't get picked, which I doubt, if he's anywhere around where the Bears need to pick, they might get a little antsy and get up there and get him. I'm telling you, he's that good. So all the people that will get mad about the Bears taking a tackle in this draft at 25, telling you now, this guy is definitely worth that pick. Definitely.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
If
we're talking best player available at 25, and he's floating around, I ain't mad at you.
And he's really good, man. But we got to keep going, kids. I think you're gonna like this next guy even better. Well, I ain't gonna say even better, but this cat is
Brenda Scott.
this is something else. This cat's something else, man. Mitch Melton out of Virginia. Mitch is 6'4", 260 pounds. Sleeper. Probably the biggest sleeper in this list that I got out of the major schools. Biggest sleeper. Mitch Melton is definitely fits the size profile for sure. Definitely fit. I mean, he's quick for a guy 6'4", 260. He's really quick and has engine, bro. Engine personified. He just goes. Mitch Melton is a sleeper. I don't know. I've seen him play too many reps with that, whatever's going on with his hand in a few games, but it's just college injuries that happen. But man, this guy is a you talking about a post-draft pickup, UDFA pickup. This is one of the epitomes of that has the measurables to really fit in what Dennis Allen wants. He's all that. Very, very supportive in the run game, can take care of that, setting the edge and being a force in the run defense. And he's got an upside as a pass rusher. He's got a little bend to him for a guy that big, too. He can get down, man. I'm just telling you, he's fast, he's quick, and he's got the size to boot. He's definitely the type. Would you say, kids?
The bend comes across immediately. I'm still getting a little bit deeper into this tape, but that was the first thing that I saw. He's fast, man. He will chase you down. He's got motor. I'm just looking for tools now. That's where I'm at with the film right now.
Oh, he's got I love his, like, once he bends and leans on a tackle, the arm swipe is heavy. The arm swipe just to get that guy off you so you can finish that rush. It's heavy. He's gonna crack that arm.
Okay.
He's gonna crack that arm.
Decent coverage snap or two. He's all right in coverage. He'll drop.
You know what? That might be a piece. Like, you don't see a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 260 pounds to be able to drop back in coverage and be a 4-3 front kind of guy. You're kind of uncomfortable dropping that guy back in coverage, but this guy can make plays in coverage.
260, you should be able to do that, man. You know what I mean? 260 is like exactly that weight where you might be a bit faster than folks give you credit for.
No, he's nimble with it.
He is.
He's very nimble.
He is.
And they like dropping him in coverage and getting the results from it too, man. He probably dropped a couple of them that probably should have been pick sixes.
Yeah, that's the snap I saw. that one. He should have took that away and went to the house with it, but here's what it is.
We're talking about post-draft sleepers that probably will be in that post-draft market. This will be a piece right here. Mitch Melton out of Virginia, 6'4", 6'5", about 260. Man, he fits the bill 110%.
He could be a bit more powerful. That's probably the one area that I'll give him a little bit of but he, again, like at 260, you're gonna make up for that power with speed and hopefully bend and or tools. He's got more bend than tools. Not a lot of tricks in the bag, but he'll get underneath you with that bend and just accelerate.
He's got some pretty good bend for a guy his size.
Yeah, he does. It's surprising. Again, it's not that 45 degrees stuff. He just gets under you, just gets underneath, and there's really not much you can do about it. And there's another coverage snap. Oh, we got the interception this time. He just didn't take it back to the house.
Man, this is a piece later on in the draft or after the draft. I'm almost certain he's gonna fall in the cracks. and be a great UDFA candidate, and it's just going to be about how much money can you secure for him to sign with you, because it's not that they can pick any UDFA they want and he has to come to Chicago. No, he's got to choose Chicago.
Mm-hmm. You can go wherever he sees fit. That's just the facts there. Let me see if they know about this guy. Is he on the NFL radar?
Man.
No, I don't think so. I don't think the NFL really knows about this guy.
All right, we're gonna get to the next guy, and I'm a this is running back Star Thomas out of Tennessee, who is 5'11", I believe. Yep. Let me make sure. No, he's 6 foot 210, so he's a bigger running back. Again, man, there's so many good ones in here.
He's what?
He's 6 foot 210.
Okay. Ooh.
He's a big running back. And he doesn't play no games. He's not effing around with the shimmy and the shake. Nope. He's going to get right on upfield and use acceleration to get on past you. And he's physical. Very physical. And hit a home run on you, too. I don't know that he can run a 4.3 or anything like that. He's probably a little somewhere around the 4.4, 4.5 range, maybe 4.4. But this guy is a piece that's going to probably fall through the cracks and end up being a UDFA, but a really good one. There's a lot of teams out there that are setting up their UDFA lists and priority UDFA lists and saying, no matter what, when we come out of this draft, getting whoever we're going to get, I want to prioritize certain guys. It wouldn't surprise me that the Chicago Bears prioritize Star Thomas because he's a no-nonsense back. One move and he's getting upfield. That's exactly what we do here in Chicago. And he's physical, but fast at the same time. He's got a little shimmy and shake if he needs it, but that's not his primary way of going about running the ball. He gets upfield and makes hay with it. Played against the highest competition in college. And he's a good receiver. He will block and is an effective blocker at that weight. He smashes into some linebackers, and it's not a problem for him. He's willing. He's very willing, but this guy got some, I just say, better than average upside for somebody who probably will not get drafted. Better than average upside. What you looking at, kids? Gotta talk.
I need to see. I know. I need to see a little bit more. Like he's the first. Like he's a north-south back, but he's got, in comparison to the previous back we looked at, he's got a little bit more juke and jump cut and spin. She's got a little bit more pizzazz is the word I'm going to use for now. Oh, and you got a stiff arm you wouldn't believe either. Again, he will go he will go to the outside. I've seen a bunch of north and south snaps so far.
It's attractive to a Ben Johnson kind of guy.
Yeah, I can see how Ben might covet a back like this. He's decent. I'm just trying to think, like, do I like this tape better than the previous tape? And strangely, I think I like the previous tape better.
Different backs.
I just can't. Like I said, I can't quantify how. Well, I don't know if they're different. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Yeah, they're different, right? Like this guy's got he's got better footwork. Again, more of a juke and a jump cut as he puts it into play all the time. But I think his downfall is it's probably just flat out acceleration or speed, because previous guy's acceleration And vision, just you ain't touching him. This guy is,
these guys 180. This
yeah,
is 210, probably more 215.
yeah, that's probably really the answer. That extra 30 pounds will slow you down a little bit, right?
Say, but he is Juju saying he's faster than Manungai.
Yeah,
Think so?
I think
No
so.
way.
I think he is.
I don't think so. I wouldn't say that for a second, Juju.
I will.
Are you saying is he faster than Manungai?
I say yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He got better long speed than Manungai. Manungai is quicker than he is fast. And that works really, really well for a guy in a short area between 0 and 20, 25 yards. He's going to burst. But I'd say Star Thomas has got the better long speed.
You don't look, like I said, you don't look fast to me. I wouldn't call this running back fast.
I'd say you had to compare the two. 0 to 25 yards, Kamanunga is quicker and faster. Beyond that, Star Thomas is a faster running back.
Okay.
And that's just the truth of what I've seen.
Okay.
But, it takes him a little bit of time to get momentum, a little bit more time than the running back you just saw. But, man, I think he's a quality back. I think he's a quality back that deserves a chance. And given that chance, I think he can be a nice compliment to what somebody's running back room looks like, man. He's a top-notch athlete, man. You starter at Tennessee, you're a top-notch athlete. And so it's about whether or not you can compete and make a team and do that thing consistently that you do and force yourself into a situation where you can compliment a running back room and wait for your chance. That's exactly the scenario that's going to have to happen for Star Thomas.
I'll also add that he's decent. He's a decent pass catching back as well.
Yeah, he's nice. He's got nice pillowy hands.
Yeah.
Hands are pillowy. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. That adds more to him.
Oh, I should have known you were talking about Mike Washington there, Illinois Jones. Yeah, Mike Wash.
We did him probably 2 months ago.
Bro, I think the whole world mocking him to the Chicago Bears, but because of that, he's not going to go to Chicago Bears. That's about the easiest way for me to say it, man. He's going to follow somebody else.
I'm a skip a guy because I know you probably won't find tape on him because you're going to have to look at whole games. I'm going to skip this guy, and I'm going to jump to 1, 2, 3. Ball hawk. Straight ball hawk. Xavier Scott out of Illinois. Cornerback / safety / boundary corner. He's played all 3 roles at Illinois and played them well. Probably their best all-around DB they had there, and they got a bunch of good DBs. Xavier Scott is absolutely a ball hawk, extremely instinctual, extremely high football intelligence. When I say extremely high, I mean top tier. Honey badger type, always around the ball. He's about 5'11", about 190 pounds. Always around the ball and always making plays. He's a playmaker. That's what he does. Ball hawk, playmaker. You put any kind of label on Xavier Scott, that's best be what you say about it. He's a ball hawk and a playmaker. That's what he does. Functions particularly very well in a zone scheme or at safety where he can kind of see the whole structure of the offense and make decisions. At nickel, he doesn't have to think as much. Boundary corner, doesn't have to think as much. He just has to play the player. But at safety, this guy's going to turn that ball over because he can really see the field, understands the constructs of offensive formats, knows the route concepts, knows where to get on top of something or get behind something. He will jump something and be right 90% of the time. Probably better than 90. I'd say 95. When he goes, he doesn't get it wrong. And that's a particular thing that every safety should understand. If you're going to go and you're going to just go rogue on a play and I'm going to jump a route, you better be right. And he's right almost all the time. This is a ball hawk. And if you wanna play, you want to play with players that prioritize taking the ball away, this guy better be on your short list because Xavier Scott will take that ball away. And he's a short tackler as well. And you can't really say nothing wrong about this cat. He doesn't have. I would say this: if there was one drawback to me watching his film, I would say he's not ideal for a boundary cornerback that has to run 60 yards down the field. I don't think he has the best of long speed. I think his main role should be somewhere in the box where he can see the play and doesn't have to play a player on most downs. So he can just play and get out there and trigger and make a play on the ball. I think he's a safety. What you seeing, kids? What you thinking?
Yeah. The ball magically winds up in his hands all the time.
Mike Brown type is what Illy says. Welcome back, Illy. I ain't seen you in a while, man. I hope everything is good, bro.
Ball winds up in the man's hands. You played at Illinois, fighting Illy?
Yep, him teammates with Akis and the center, Kroops.
They got some good players there, man. Really good players. Illinois has turned out some really good DBs here in the past 7 years at least. I mean, really good. And this guy is one of them. He's one in that echelon. He's going to make plays. He's got elite football intelligence. Elite. This guy really knows what's going on. And I just gotta imagine that he does a lot of extra work to make sure that he understands formations. It's one thing to know formations and how guys do what do they like out of these formations and what is likely to come out of this bunch concept or this trips concept or this it's a bunch of stuff that can happen out of any of those formations. He's done his homework and knows his opponent. And he makes plays continuously. I can't turn on the Illinois tape, and I've seen at least 13 of their games this year. You can't turn on a tape where this guy's not making a play, or 2 or 3. You can't turn on not a 1. He just makes plays.
So he's not listed as a draft prospect. There's another safety from Illy, also with the last name Scott. That is Miles Scott.
Yeah, that's the big safety. Now I'll tell you why he probably doesn't make it on that radar for people that's projecting where somebody might go. Because I don't think he doesn't have the fastest 40 speed. He probably doesn't. But it doesn't matter when you have a player like this. He knows how to make up for that. Be in the right place at the right time.
It's got nothing to do with like the highlights I'm seeing, the way that he plays the ball. It's got nothing to do with the player, right? If you're trying to catch a player, that's one thing. Maybe he gets burned in that respect, but he's playing the ball, and when he does, ball winds up in his hands. I wish I could say it a different way. He winds up jumping routes, cutting routes, closing in on the football from different areas, different places, and the ball just winds up in his hands, man.
I used to watch a lot of tape on 10. That is Miles Scott, the guy somebody mentioned here.
Mm-hmm.
And quickly, I mean, for a couple years now, I've been watching these cats. And quickly, I stopped watching Miles Scott, and I'm like, 14 is all over the goddamn place, man.
Yeah.
All over the place. I think he is the best DB they have there, bar none. Bar none. And I think he's the best playmaker they have. I think he probably is the best playmaker in the Big Ten on defense. I think that.
He's turning the ball over left, right, and center. So I wouldn't. I don't. It would be surprising if he wasn't in that conversation at the very least, right? And right now, like I said, I'm seeing Miles Scott in the greater list. I don't see Xavier, but I'm watching this tape here, and there's a bunch of interceptions that are all him.
Well, but the beautiful thing is the destination that the Chicago Bears team is right now. You know, somebody mentioned earlier, good, better, best. You got free agents that want to come here and be part of this environment and part of this culture. You got open roster spots to where, you know, let's just say Xavier Scott here is a UDFA and he gets signed. You know, he knows if he's with the Bears, he has the opportunity to fight for a starting position because the safety room is open, as opposed to going another team where, you know, he's going to have to fight for just a practice, you know, squad spot. You know, with all of the positives that this team has going, you know, for the players, the opportunity to come in and battle for a starting position is going to put the Bears higher on lists than other teams that may be interested in him.
He is. I just love his ball hawking ability, and that's all trump cards for any defensive coordinator that prioritizes getting that ball away and giving the offense another opportunity to go make a play. He's gonna show up on a lot of guys' tape and unheralded. I don't know if I've seen anybody talking about Xavier Scott at all this offseason. At all. And he might have been the best playmaker in the Big Ten on defense.
It looks that way. Like I say, he's taking that ball away. The ball's coming with him.
All right.
Good
and
football.
Now next year, for Illinois tape watchers, AC Adam is saying watch out for Juice Clark.
Yeah.
He's the next best cornerback coming out of Illinois.
Juice has got I know who he's talking about, but I'll say my thoughts on him. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm biting my tongue right now, y'all, because I like Juice Clark. But all right, so I got probably 4 more guys. I'm thinking about just doing one so we can get out of here and get prepared for this marathon we got this weekend. If y'all want to go with all 4 of them, we can go with them, but I say we do one more and close the show. What do y'all want to do?
How long do you think it'll take us to do the 4?
Might take a minute.
Well, I mean, you know, just do like, you know, 2-3 minutes on each, or just give a shout out, or
that's very hard for me. I know too much to be doing that, but that's hard. All right, let me see what we can do here. All right, let's go right to it. You're not gonna find. I'm gonna skip one of them because you're not gonna find the tape on him. Well, let's go here. What I'm gonna do 2 more.
Well, the ones that we can't find check that. The ones that we can't find the tape on, just say their names. You know, who are they?
All right, I'll give you one of them is Dominic Bailey, and I gave him. He's got all the props out of Tennessee, defensive tackle. I think he's not only a defensive tackle. I think he can play big edge, and I think he's if Dennis Allen covers this guy, I think he sees him as a big edge. Not to say that he can't get it done on the interior, but this cat is I love to break it down, but you're not gonna really find highlights for him, kids, man. So I just be talking and into the ether. And so to me, that's not worth doing his breakdown right now if y'all can't see something to talk about. But I think he's a stud. I think he's a stud. Just remember the name Dominic Bailey out of Tennessee.
Okay.
He's I'd say about 6'3", 6'4", about 291, 290, 291. But he's a tweener kind of guy. Out of Tennessee, so you know he can play. All right, we get to the next guy. This is Junior Tuihalamaka out of Notre Dame. out of Notre Dame. Now he's about 6'2", 6'3", about 260. He's a big boy, strong big boy. And what they did with him is early on, you know how we talk about, I say this all the time, we always had a joker in our defense. That's a guy that's kind of a wild card. That's what we call him. At Notre Dame, they call him a viper. And so what he does is a mixture of a little bit of everything. They will use him to rush the passer. They will use him to, control the running game, whether it be from the edge. They will line him up on the interior and have him play D tackle. They had him do everything. They had him get back there and play linebacker. And so that's part of what a joker does. He's a guy that you can't really put your finger on as far as where he might line up. And at 260, it makes him a particular kind of guy on the list of a scout and recruiter for the Chicago Bears. Okay, what do you classify him as? You classify him as an athlete. What do I think is going to happen with Junior Tuihalamaka is I think he's going to end up being a UDFA that's going to make his bones on special teams. Let me start there. Let me give you his attributes. I love Samoan football players, not only because they're Samoan, it's because of the temperament they have and the bone density that they have. Their bone structure, they're big, physical guys. I can tell you this. You ever in your life find yourself in a situation where you got a hostile Samoan guy, better bow your ass down and walk away. I'm telling you, these cats are physical and mean. Mean as shit. And he plays like that. Very good in run defense. Very, very good. And has got a better than average upside as a pass rusher. Extremely high motor. Runs and tackles everything. He's a hit stick. He just doesn't do anything particularly that's going to knock your socks off. And that's why I say he's probably an after draft prospect that's going to end up being a core special teamer. And that's important too. But he's a dog. I want this attitude on my defense. I want him there to supplement the guys that we have. I love Samoan guys, man. They real, man. They real. And you need guys like this on your team, man. What are you thinking, Kez? You got to talk.
I'm getting pissed off because my internet's getting super choppy here. I'm trying to watch this film. He's all over the field, man. All over the field. They put him. They got him. He's taking a lot of linebacker snaps, and he's just running fools down, bringing them down. Dropping into coverage, taking care of that. They'll put him on the edge. He's getting in the backfield in that capacity too. He's everywhere on this, for this team. I see what you mean though. Because he's everywhere, where do you draft him and for what? So I think special teams is a great place for him to get his chops. I think that just given his overall athleticism, you just wind up putting him in the position somewhere. Like I would probably play him as a linebacker.
No, he's a power guy.
Well, I'm not saying like by no stretch of the imagination am I saying that he's not. I'm just saying that he's such a short tackler. He's fast, and he has just that general Samoan tenacity. You can put him you could put him on the edge. You could and here's an edge snap. He's got a little bit of bend over there. You can put him anywhere. But
that's what surprised me about him is I wasn't expecting. I had to watch enough of it to know that this guy can bend and dip and get underneath I mean, that surprised me, but he did that particularly well. If I had to give him a strong suit that would surprise me, is how when they asked him to rush, boom, he runs into you with power and then gets low and gets up under you, bends and gets around you. Them strong legs help him be really effective at doing that. And the pursuit never slowed down. He stayed right on track with getting that quarterback when they asked him to. They just didn't ask him to rush the passer as much as you would consider a normal edge rusher to do it. He played and did so many different things. He can be a force if asked to be.
How tall is he?
6'2", 6'3".
Well, you know that he's got that bloodline because of the whole Samoan the culture, that passion, that anger, that tenacity. And granted, some of their ladies, Samoan women should be playing in the trenches themselves, offensive and defensive lines, but the athleticism is there for all of them.
I love them, man. I love Samoan people. Look at what Samo said. Anybody want to read it?
So we had a Samoan offensive lineman, what up, brother, on a team that almost got us kicked out of the school for plagiarism. I wanted to beat him down. He was so damn big. I knew better. True story. Wait, plagiarism? That means he actually had to go to class.
He wouldn't mess with that big old motherfucker. I bet you did. Man, they too big, man. Them cats is too big and strong, and they ferocious, man.
And they're very what's the word? Volatile.
Hey, man, bro. Let me tell you.
It might put you in a locker.
A Samoan, bro.
Sorry.
A Samoan is your worst nightmare when they're mad.
Mm-hmm.
When they get pissed off, they're your worst nightmare.
And be singing all falsetto.
They'll walk right through whatever you got going on. Knife, taser, walk right on through that shit. They nice as hell when you just be real with them, but start acting funny with them and see what happens. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, you want guys like this on your football team. You got to have guys like him on your football team. You got to. If you don't have guys like him on your football team, you cheating your team. Not him, you cheating your goddamn team. You got to have cats like him. And I think he eventually can make a team as a special teamer and work his way into a situation where he can get more opportunity. But that's kind of the verdict I have on him because his strong suit is run defense. And that only is going to go so far when people are evaluating and making reasons to draft you. You know what I mean? You got to bring more to the table. But again, special teams, again, are good core reasons to draft a guy. And after the draft, I think this guy make a team and never leave it. Just loving. I just love football players like this.
I like what I'm seeing here, man. He's in my opinion, though, I think he's like if you're saying 6'2", 6'3", I think he's smaller than that. That's just my guess. Because he's a lot faster than you would expect. He's very sudden on the edge when they put him at the edge. Like I said, I think I would play him. I think I would play him as
Let's see what Samuel said. He copied my computer science homework project word for goddamn word. And because he had taken the class in high school and was knowledgeable, the professor naturally thought that I, of course, was the one who copied. But it was his ass who asked me to copy.
You got played.
So both you and him got into trouble is how it worked out.
That's how you gonna copy it word for word, man.
Get creative.
You done took the class before anyway.
Them cats is not really interested in being an intellectual.
You mean education? No.
I mean, they get education, but they ain't trying to be no intellectual. They know what they are, man. They warriors, man. They freaking warriors, man.
Mm-hmm. School class was just something you had to do, when you wasn't in practice.
They are. I'm telling you, these cats are warriors, man.
I'm so mad that Kyrie's Tonga is not on this team. Man. Just want to say that out loud as well.
You've been saying it for 3 years. God
I
damn.
know. I'm mad. Homeboy was at a Super Bowl the other day. Crazy. Really, I was really impressed by him. Really impressed. Anyways,
all right. We'll get one more. We'll get one more in, and we'll bounce, man. This is Cam Ball out of Arkansas. 6'4". No, I made the mistake. 6'5", 326 pounds. Now, when you turn on this tape, I just want to know: do you see 6'5", 326 pounds? This guy's playing 3 technique more times than not.
6'5"? Damn.
6'5", 326 pounds, playing 3 technique. You know what? Because there was another guy bigger than him there.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 technique, I mean, I don't know how we've gotten through this whole entire draft process and people ain't talking about this monster. I don't know. But that just goes to show you, when you hear some podcast or some so-called analyst or scout talking about 3 technique or defensive tackle is light in this draft, and this guy hasn't come up in conversation. Tell me how that works. No, you just running a narrative that you hoping everybody repeats. I ain't one of the ones that's gonna repeat it. Dog. Straight dog.
One more time with the measurables, bro.
6'5", 326.
Okay.
Of course he can play nose tackle, but you would waste this athlete by just leaving him as a nose tackle. He can play from 3 technique to nose guard and even on the edge at 326. Seen him play all of it well. At edge, I say that again, kids, at edge. What are you going to do with this quick, big, fast guy, nimble as a cat, that can line up as an edge rusher with his fingers in the dirt and get off the ball on your tackle? Guy this big, this quick, this fast, you're going to suffer. Eventually, you will see, you watch enough Cam Ball tape, you'll see him line up as an edge rusher and bust ass. And it's impressive. This is a big dancing bear, is what he is.
Not that kind of lady.
Monster. That is not. He's different in a way that you can kind of put a big nose tackle in a box. You cannot do that with this guy. A big nose tackle is a big nose tackle, and that's it. There's no other room for conversation. He's not that. He's much more. Kid, you want to talk?
Yeah. He sheds really well in the run game. He sheds, gets bodies out off of him. Like you called him fast a couple of times. I can't call him fast, but what I can say is he's
not that big. He's fast.
You know what I mean? Like he's not slow. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm saying. For a man his size, he moves laterally very well. He'll chase you down. He'll get upfield into the backfield. I like what I see, man. He'll get through on double teams. I've seen him do it a bunch of times. I like Cam Ball. Let me take a look at where he might line up, but I think he's there he is right there. 232. We got to pick right around there.
If he lines up at anywhere on that defensive line, and he's in a one-on-one matchup with any offensive lineman, and he decides to rush with power, there's absolutely nothing that any offensive lineman can do about him, whether he's on the NFL ranks, college ranks. I don't give a damn. If you're on the moon, you can't do nothing with this cat if you one-on-one and he decides to go to power. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. And he's for a guy as tall as he is, he plays with a pretty relatively low profile, man. Low pad level. I was kind of surprised by that as well. Like once you get into the 6'5s and above, these guys tend to stand up. He doesn't.
He's like if he sees a one-on-one and he's got the pass rush plan to go with power because of the down and distance. If he's got that plan already and he sees a one-on-one, he's basically telling you, I own you. Ain't nothing you can do about me. Ain't nothing. He plays behind his size with an attitude. I'll repeat that, with an attitude.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy, man. But like I say, great lateral speed. He'll decent, a lot more motor than you would expect again from a guy of his with his measurables. You might not expect that. He will chase you down. He will chase a running back down. It's kind of surprising to watch.
What Kids is talking about is after the running back or the receiver, or whoever it is, quarterback, receiver, running back, tight end, has broken containment in his area. He doesn't stop. His pursuit continues, and he catches up to the ball quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And avalanches.
Yeah, and a lot of that is coming from him shedding a block somewhere, right? He's shedding that block and then getting lateral and making sure that running back, QB, whoever's on the move, he's taking them down. Yeah, I like Campbell. He's and you're saying he's playing 3-tech, not nose?
Man, a lot of his 2024 tape was 3 technique. A lot of some of his 2025 tape was 3 technique. And they put him in more at nose during this part. I mean, it's almost like they talked him into believing that your best chance to get drafted is playing nose. So he got more reps than he did in 2024 at nose. But he's still playing a lot of 3 technique and edge rusher in that role then. 2025 tape.
Yeah, I saw a couple of snaps on the edge. It's hard to quantify. I think his role is as a DT, whether it's nose or 3-tech. I think 3-tech works. Like from what I'm seeing from him, 3-tech works at his size because again, that pad level is so low that he can use power and just a little bit of bend, some hand fight, and get deep into the backfield, and it works.
Man, I think this is I think he's a steal waiting to draft. I mean, a real steal.
I gotta ask the question Scrolls was asking though. Like, any idea what's cracking with the elbow, with the arm brace?
Well, along that position, hyperextension is real easy. Defensive line.
Yeah, they gotta put their arm in traffic all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
But also just aesthetically, was that Illy saying he likes that he's a team captain, but then also look at that face mask. Now, that's nasty. I like that.
Yeah, that's a psychopath in your trips. That Hannibal Lecter looking face man.
I had his football with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I mean, true big boy. There's no fluff, no stuff to this guy. He's a real big boy. And it's not manufactured. You can look at this guy and this is a big boy. All you gotta always do is look at the back of them arms. And you can see that's just density, muscle density. That's just pure muscle density. And he's like that from top to bottom.
Huh.
Like that. He's an athlete for a guy his size. I mean, a really good, nimble athlete too. I can only imagine carrying that kind of weight if I can still maintain my kind of athleticism. And wow. These big boys are so dynamic, man. I'm telling you. And there's so many of them. there's so many of them to talk about. This is just one of many I want to have conversations about. But you talking about big old huge dancing bears that are forced in the middle of your defense consistently. After the draft, I love to pick this cat up, or even during the draft, I love to draft him. But man, it's going to be a steal for somebody.
Yeah, he's around 7th rounder ish. Uh, I really like the DT class, the DT group this year. I think it's so deep. There's so much talent available there for you to get behind. You know, I don't know. There's a ton of it that you can really shore up that run, that run situation. I think this time around in this draft. And I think that's one of the areas of concern for this defense. So fingers crossed they get a couple of, I'm hoping we get a couple of DTs, one semi early, one a little bit late in this year's draft.
All right, that does it for the prospects. I'll tell you what, man. I enjoyed this draft class, studying them, even though because of things that happen in the world, I probably gave half of what I can give to this process. And I'm being honest with y'all. And there's much more that I had to me. It's much more talent that I did watch that you guys didn't even hear about. But I don't apologize for that. It's just me as a human paying attention to what's going on in the world. And it's much more important than what's going on with the Chicago Bears and the fan base. It's much more important. And I have to situate myself to what's happening in the world, just like everybody else. So if you didn't see enough this year, I apologize for it because I intended to do more. I really did, but I did the best that I could under the circumstances. I hope you guys enjoyed the off season and what we provided here and what we was able to bring to you as far as these evaluations and breakdowns, man. So any last thoughts about that before we close the show?
We're not done. We're not done, to quote KRS-One. We got a couple more days of this to go. So be there or be square. We'll be right here tomorrow, I believe, at around 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. I think that's the time frame. The draft starts live and direct at 8 p.m. So get your popcorn, get your booze, get your whatever it is you're gonna get it. And we'll be right here ready to rock and roll with y'all for a couple of days, man. For a couple of days. We're gonna do Thursday, we're gonna do Friday, we're gonna do Saturday. Hopefully this all don't bleed into Sunday, but it just might bleed into Sunday. Yeah.
All right, so, let me clarify something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Round 1, Thursday, April 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern, so 7 p.m. Central.
That means we're 30 minutes before time.
Huh?
30 minutes before time. That's usually when we go live.
6:30 and 7:30.
Yeah, 6:30.
So 6:30 Central. Mm-hmm. And then Friday, the draft starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, so that's 6 Central, so 5:30 will come on Saturday. Pause. And on Sunday, noon Eastern is 11 a.m. Central, so 10:30 on Sunday or Saturday. Check that.
So do that again. So you said, let me see if I got you. So you said 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, Thursday. 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, Friday.
Uh-huh.
And 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern on Saturday, and potentially Sunday.
Right.
Cool. All right. So we're all lined up. Looks like I can only assume draft is probably again noon till 8 p.m. on the weekend. So we'll do the darn thing from noon to 8 p.m. and get the hell out of here.
I'm gonna be here for y'all too, man. He got breakdowns for y'all too. He's been dying to get in here and give his take on some of these guys. He'll be here for y'all some part through the weekend, man.
Awesome, Sam. Can't wait to chop it up with you. Hopefully, that all starts tomorrow at 6:30 because I know you're gonna want to see what's going on at pick number 25 and early in the second round. That's what things get hot and heavy for the Bears. So hopefully we got you tomorrow. Yeah, Crooked, holler at me, see what's going on. Maybe a little bit of collaboration in that respect, which is super cool. And y'all, like, bear the fuck down, y'all. Shit's about to get real.
I love you put that. Merry Draftmas. We about to have a good time this weekend. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. It's a labor of love, man, because we have a good time doing it. You can't get better than this. He says, "Merry Draftmas, my guys."
Mm-hmm.
It's a grown man ass Christmas, man.
This when we grown man Christmas.
We get to be little ass boys, man. We get to be little ass boys for one part of the year, man.
What y'all working with for snacks for the weekend for food? Y'all stocked up already?
Oh, you know what, Trip? I want a barbecue, man, but hopefully, I think because my girl is off tonight and tomorrow, and she got to work the weekend. But I'm planning on getting on the grill, man, and putting some shit together that way. But then putting some little side shit together, just some shit to just nibble on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got some
other than her yummies.
Damn. I got some burgers ready to go, some sweet potato fries were ready to rock and roll. Got some chicken wings as well. The whole weekend is already lined up in that respect, so we are good to rock. Got some cashews for quick protein requirements. And yeah, man. Let's go.
Right. And I think I'm gonna do a nice big pot of potato soup.
Okay, you're gonna soup it up. All right.
Yeah, soup it up.
Okay.
Because the weather is warming up. Got on my short boy pants. For the rest of the year. Till the fall probably.
You're ready with the shorts.
Come on, the temperature is like over 55.
Okay.
Man, those legs out.
The wangs with that blue cheese, some of them
carrots and some celery. Mm-hmm.
I might have to go make a exclusive trip to go get me some wings. I don't know if we got none down there.
Yeah, might be what the doctor ordered in that respect.
Well, no, the doctor definitely ordered the celery and carrots.
you right.
I'm gonna have to call my mother because she got. I
need some celery and carrots, man, in my life. So let me try.
I know my mama keep a freezer like me. She keep it full of meat, and she probably got some wings in there. I'm like, hey, Ma, you got a bag of wings in there? Let me get some.
You want some turkey wings? You want some chicken wings? What kind of wings you want?
Yeah, anybody just giving away no turkey wings no more. Shit.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah, it's draft weekend. So along with the snacks, remember we want to get in a few some exercise reps in there, keep everything flowing. So make sure you are tuned in because all three networks, it's always a marathon because we all three on the Nomad Network on at the Kids Canuck and Sport Chicago Style Triple RSCS. We got that gift of gab. We got a lot to share. We got a lot to say. And you all have a lot to share, a lot to say, a lot to listen to of the sharing. And we get to see what players we get all shiny and new for our team going forward.
Oh, shiny.
All right. I'm about to put y'all on the spot now. I'm gonna help y'all with this, man. And help yourself. I know you got a lot on your minds, but give me one football player without landing on think. Oh, I like this player. I like that player. Give me one player that you seen or heard about tonight that really tickled you. Like, I like this guy.
Oh, tonight.
One player. Start with you, Trip.
Let's see. I like the big the Frenchie wide receiver.
Okay.
The who wide receiver?
The Frenchie wide receiver.
Oh, you talking about Jonas Fortillion?
There you go, Fortillion. Jonas Fortillion.
He's tough. He's
tough. I just like the big fast receivers because of the matchup issues and problems. You get a a receiver out there that can do the things that we've seen that he can do, and knowing the Caleb likes to throw big boy balls, if you will, up in there, jumping for him and big ass paws that he got, one handed catches, all that. I like that stuff. It's intriguing to me.
All right,
Cool.
I appreciate that one. What about you, kids?
I like Jeremiah Williams, his counterpart there. I really like Jeremiah. Lot of burst, a lot of speed, surprising speed at his size and his talent. The running back snaps were a treat. Don't expect to see much of that in the NFL, but hey, I've seen Akeem Hicks run a football a couple of times. Refrigerator Perry. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not Jeremiah Williams?
Oh, I got people in the comments. Illy says he likes Blake Miller. That's
Illy, you probably really the rightest. I probably should have went with Blake Miller, but real talk, damn, that tape was so good. That tape was so good, Sam.
It took me an entire draft process to break him down where I had time to really focus on it, because all kinds of stuff that was happening, like in my when I was talking to y'all about it. But I finished it, and it was almost too good to be true. Be honest with you, with Blake Miller, it's like it's got to be. It's real, man. That guy is just good.
And he locks in and has anchor. It's I don't know, man. Like I say, I don't want no damn left tackles in the first round. But if they have to pick a left tackle,
why we always go?
Blake Miller's a dude, bro.
Why do we always go with I don't want this?
Because I'm being a realist, man. I'm just saying how I feel about things.
Yourself up a failure, man.
It's okay. I failed before. I don't mind failing. Shit.
Tyler 1DM, we did him last year, Patrick. Just go to the Nomad Network channel.
Yeah, we did do Tyler. Did he not get drafted last year?
I did him last year because I thought he was going to get drafted. But
I remember Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler 1DM is out there.
He's decent.
I'm gonna not surprise you guys, but surprise you guys. But I'm going to the DB room with Xavier Scott.
Yeah,
ball hawk, technically sound, technically superior defensive back that can play either. In my opinion, he played boundary corner, but in my opinion, he's going to end up as either nickel or a strong safety. One of those two roles he's going to play. And I think you're going to get a steal with him because he just finds a way to get his hands on the ball by a true understanding of what offenses like to do. It's not surprising to me that all NFL teams do the same stuff. They do. It's not anything new. It's just how they trick bag it with motions and different kinds of things to get someone offset. And so if you play the New York Giants one week and play the Baltimore Ravens the next week, you're going to see the same stuff. But how they use different players to offset what they're really trying to do or put a mirage in front of what they're trying to do and run that play, it's simple. Guess what? Xavier Scott sees through all of that shit. He knows what a window dressing looks like. It's just pure window dressing. And he sees through it and he can make a play given all the window dressing and the bells and whistles that come with offensive play calling. And the guy's going to be a playmaker on the next level. Can't make plays at that high level on this high level that he played on in college and not do it in the NFL. He's going to make plays. And so I'm just going to be a little contrarian. Y'all went with Blake Miller and who else? What'd you say, Trips? Juanez Fortillion?
Yeah, Fortillion.
Okay. I'm just going to round it out by saying I'm going to go with my DB guys. I'm going with Xavier Scott. I'll tell you what, man, because we got such a weekend plan and I'm still in contact with people, we're going to have Sam on, a bunch of other guys, FFG, the Bishop. Everybody's going to be around And I'm gonna reach out to some more people. Sean is gonna be here, Sean Sierra. We're gonna have a bunch of guys here.
Super bat.
I'm reaching out to some more people to see if we can get more, but we'll see. But look forward to this weekend. It's gonna be a fun time. When have you looked forward to a draft and post-draft and the season more than you look to it this year? I can't remember recently. Man. We got fireworks waiting for us, and we're just waiting for them to make a decision about who they want. This is gonna be fun, man. This weekend is gonna be extremely fun. We'll have a good time with it, laugh, talk some shit like we always do around here. But I gotta leave you, unless you guys got a little extra to say before we get out of here. Good? Trip?
No, I'm good to go, man. Love these prospects. I'm ready. Like I say, we got one sleep, man. One sleep, and we good to go.
All right. We're gonna get out of here and start tanking up for this marathon, y'all. But I gotta leave you guys with these famous words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.